Hear ye, listeners. Court is in session. Grab your snacks, this one local's obsession. Some big girl lit the drama burner. Now that locale wants a broken boner. She said he's boring, but she stayed in chat, spinning out like a method bat. Denmark calling from across the sea. How'd this drama get attached to me? Sunglasses on, everybody looks shady. One cop shows up and they all go crazy. Was it swatting? Was it not? Girl is screaming, the water's too hot. Pot roast cold, husband mad. Everybody acting like they've been had. Receipts got waived, but the proof got thinner. Now the courtroom's missing dinner. Locale wants a broken boner, crying online like she needs a donor. Denmark, thirst trap, Tennessee shades. Whole damn chat, whipping out blades. Locale wants a broken boner, ran that mouth. Now she's a loner, expert in shades. Valhalla, stay calm. Baker got blamed for the drama bomb. Bunny's hopping with the diamond signs, watching every chat and drinking boxed wines. Don't say his name, don't play his clip. Too late, girl, you started this shit. Called him dirty, called him dull. Timeline ate her whole damn skull. Tried to spin it, tried to sell. Internet rang that dinner bell. Prove it wasn't me, she cried, while the comment section picked a side. One welfare check, one room a trade. Now everybody's feeling drained. Pot roast cold, husband loud. Drama queen lost in the crowd. Receipts got stretched, the story got older. Now the bakers are looking colder. Locale wants a broken boner, crying online like she needs a donor. Denmark, thirst trap, Tennessee shades. Whole damn chat, whipping out blades. Locale wants a broken boner, ran that mouth. Now she's a loner, expert in shades. Valhalla, stay calm. Baker got blamed for the drama bomb. Valhalla said, let's keep it clean. Expert looked like the coolest meme. Baker said, I didn't ask for this, but the cow came back with a hit list. Flashlight screenshots, hearts in text. Everybody asking, what's this shit? No one knows and no one should, but the drama tastes too damn good. One cop, don't make it SWAT. Her bullshit, don't make it fact. One cow, don't run the farm, but she wanted to sound the alarm. Locale, here she comes, typing with her angry thumbs. Locale sounds her horn. Locale begging for the broken boner. Locale wants a broken boner, crying online like she needs a donor. Denmark, thirst trap, Tennessee shades. Whole damn chat, whipping out blades. Locale wants a broken boner, ran that mouth. Now she's a loner, expert in shades. Valhalla, stay calm. Baker got blamed for the drama bomb. Internet drama, can't move on. Watch the lives till after dawn. Food got cold, hearts not warmer. Locale wants and needs a broken boner. A broken boner.
Hey, I'm here. It worked. I'm always amazed. I'm always shocked. It's always one of those things, right? Golly. How are you beautiful tubers doing tonight? I believe it's Monday. Get my seat comfy. What's going on here? I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Wait, hold on. Wow. Let's get that dark. Anyway, it's stuck. Maybe stuck. When was the last time I streamed? Friday? Feels like it. feels like it. Why do I have stuff? Why do I have stuff, and why is it always I got some new. It's not new. I got body wash today. Okay, the soap, right? But the last stuff I got was wet. It was wet body wash. You had to pump it. This stuff is hard, like a bar. What do you think? Let's see. Hang on a second. I can't see these glasses. In appreciation of the men and women who have served our country, Duke Cannon Supply Company, donates a portion of the proceeds to veteran causes. Oh, good. It changed colors again. I hate this thing changes colors, and so it's like that color of light. I can't read. There's a reading. It's light. I have too many lights, y'all. Too many lights. Anyway, so Duke Cannon, for their buying this soap, for the proceeds go to veteran causes. Two things that the macchiato Cal doesn't do. Soap and veterans causes. Anyway, how are you beautiful tubers doing tonight? There is so much happening. There is so much great stuff. How you doing, Kelly Kell? What is happening? Kelly, now you're the one who just got out of law school. Is that correct? I'm trying to remember. Somebody else may have done that too. Linda Lazier, I always feel like I miss you. Oh, I miss you when you're not here, but I always feel like I miss you in chat. I'm so sorry about that. It's a shortcoming I have. Wild Goose, what's up? I have peeps stuck in my teeth. Oh, well, they're gonna stay there. I got nerds now. This bothers me. This is where I have sensitive skin. And so when I shave, I have an ingrown hair now. Drive me nuts. I just realized why I eat on stream. Nervous energy. YouTuber, he was talking about that earlier. How you doing? Personalized watercraft. Such an idiot. What? Yeah, Kelly Cow. What do you have? Like usually you take the bar after you get out of law school. If you're into that sort of thing, that whole like brevity thing, I don't know what the hell I'm saying anymore. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. Emily C, how you doing, doll? Listen, did you hear what I did? By the way, you looked like you were having fun. Wait, there's two things. So my wife told me that you were on Twitter, X, having a good time. And I saw that picture. Actually. And you had a name tag on. And I thought, okay, well, I would normally say what I always say with the name tag is I put Inigo Montoya as my name on name tag. Now, I feel bad for saying that because I know you don't know what I'm talking about. However, another thing I do with my name tag is I turn it upside down so that way I can always remember my name. You ever do that? You just look down. Oh yeah. Anyway, and the other thing is, I graduate. Oh no, it was from my wife. My wife also said that she loved how you used the banana phone. She's like, she's like, I love how she uses the banana phone to get your attention, to bring you back, focus your attention. And I was like, well, we call each other on the banana phone. What are you talking about? What? And anyway, that was my banana phone. My banana phone. You better not be broken. You didn't fall. My earbuds fell. I feel like my stem's a little weak. Anyway, those were the two things. You got two compliments from her. And then yeah, so Squirrel School graduation, that was so sweet. It was so kind. It was so wonderful. And I was thinking back on it. And I was like, wow, I really am blessed. So many great people. And after that show, while I was thinking about it, I wanted to go ahead and thank people. And I was like, I know I'm gonna forget. And I forgot uh Kelly, forgot her. Almost forgot Side Eyes. Now, in my defense, I was in a conversation with Valhalla and Broken Baker too. So I remembered those two. And I was like, wait a second, I know there was more. And anyway, so I forgot Kelly though. I didn't say anything to her. Then I rectified that. And then last night I realized that I did not think Exhibit Alley. And that was the coolest thing. Those of you that don't know, Squirrel Skull is this ladies, a lady. Doesn't know that's from either. I've not seen that movie, but I do know Jerry Lee Lewis. That's his name. I'm a Jerry kid. One of those things. That guy. That it. But anyway, um, uh, Emily C. I don't even. I don't even know how to start. How we got into the whole like the Karen Reed stuff. She is an expert in it. I know nothing. There you go. Gretchen Lee knows. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. You do not have 6 fingers on your left hand, do you? I asked that of everyone. Because a 6-fingered man killed my father. One day I will meet him, and when I do, I'm going to say to him, hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. Who killed my father? Prepare to die. Who killed him? Anyway, so where are we going with all this? Karen Reed. And it's a fascinating thing. Oh, by the way, Emily, I just said something about I said Squirrel School in the Glares chat because he was covering the guy that Turtle Boy had interviewed. Was that like last night? And he said that John O'Keefe died of hypothermia. And I was like, whoa, no, he didn't. No, he didn't because Dr. Alpaca said this. It's not Alpaca. Opsa. Very cool doctor. She's awesome. She rocks. Doctor. Anyway, I'm horrible with names, y'all. So said no, he did not have a die of hypothermia. He died from the blunt force trauma in the back of the head. And Turtle Boy was correcting him, and I was over there in Claire's chat, and I said, this guy needs to go to Squirrel School. Wedge was this guy's name. Wedge. Like Wedge Antilles from Star Wars. X-Wing fighter. Olaf, are you causing problems? Was it? La Posada. It's an anagram of alpaca. Y'all have no idea. This is hurting my brain. Also, and I'm very terrified because now we are in the second season of Squirrel School. And, or as some people would say, year 2. It's not a year yet, but second grade, maybe. However Emily decides to call it. That's what we are. And first day of a new year is a little scary. You know, it's once you get past who the new girls are, you gotta remember what you learned the year before. I'll tell you what, man, you got summer vacation between then, and it's like, I don't know what's happening. And so, high five, like Borat. Anyway, yes, it was a Squirrel School endorsement, or you're endorsing Squirrel School. I don't know which one. Olap is causing problems because I heard that. Hey, Miss Jessica, how you doing, babe? Zach, what's up? What's your joke? What's your joke? What's your joke? King Bob. Nano. Not at all. No. Olap. That's right. So Olap. I heard, and I think it's your fault. I heard a thing today, but it's not your fault. I just remember I heard the full story, but I blamed you. Yeah. I said, oh, that's because of Olap. I guarantee it's because of Olap. But it wasn't. It wasn't. So evidently our friend, Tug, that umbrella guy, I've known the guy for years. He's known me for months. He is getting some drama. And I was like, I blamed you. I need to send you an email. I don't need to do this on stream, do I? I love Olap. T42, thank you for saving me. She's over there. She's going like, oh my gosh, expert, the squirrels have taken over. He needs to reset his brain. He needs a complete reset. Wiggle, 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 yeah. 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 I just realized something. I just choked. That's my I think I'm gonna live. Last night, on the members only, as soon as it was over, I got a notification that I got hit. Wiggles. So I don't know what to do. This is as sad as when this happened.
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
What I'm gonna need, we need Zach to reenact the Wiggles. So that way we'll be good to go. No, it was these. What are these things called? They're chopped up nerds on a rope. Chopped up nerds on a rope. Oh, and also, by the way, well, Paul, how you doing? Malin, what's up? End of stream. No, don't say that. Jackie, thank you so much. Jackie, I don't know. I don't have a celebratory thing anymore. I really don't.
No.
The expert, which is this buffed out alpha dude.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Please come
And what about the harassment aspect too? I want to point out the harassment aspect because again,
oh my goodness gracious. Afro Man is the only one who says no as well as Baker. They look a lot alike too. Yeah, but I'll be honest with you. If I could just have one of them, I had to choose between having Afro Man or the Broken Baker in my life. I'll let you come to your own conclusions on that one. I see Kravitz. I think Lenny. Jenny, how you doing? Forever jaded. How are you doing? You don't need to always be jaded unless you're a precious stone. Jade. Is jade a stone? Jade's a stone, ain't it? I don't know. Lefty, what has happened? Why is it Afro Man? Because he has a big old afro. Why? If you had an afro, I'd call you Afro Man. Actually, I'd call you Afro Canadian Man. But that's what your name would be. What are you talking about? Well, I mean, I don't know. Denmark, like Baker has Denmarkian money, which is like Monopoly. You can just go to the Xerox machine and make your own copies. Split screen with both of them at the same time. You know what? For something as simple as a split screen, I don't know how to do that. Oh, wait a second. How did she do that? I just realized, how did she do that? I want to know more. They have beavers. So I think except in Quebec, I think they're called a merkin. Not America, like a American, but like a merkin. It's like the opposite of an afro. Or it's a Canadian afro. Excuse me. A Canadian afro is called a merkin. Pretty sure. Afro Man gave me a new respect for the First Amendment. It is funny how that worked. You know what? Actually, that's a good thing. Or a good thing? That's a good point. What was there ever a legal opinion? I forgot all about that trial. There was no jury, was there? Yeah, it wasn't First Amendment though, was it? Well, I guess maybe. Because here's the thing, like I'm thinking that like I can't say something about a private citizen, which also I need to do a disclaimer. Everything I say is a joke. Okay. So if anybody sees anything out there about a true crime channel and anything about it, and people get, their feels hurt, I want you to know it's a joke. Okay. Now, that being said, there is this one woman in particular who was wrongly accused, I believe. With all my heart, I do. And I don't think that's right. And I think that this is everything should be looked at as a documentary, a funny documentary about how you need to protect yourself from weirdos. And the weirdo in question, her name is not Christina. Now that I've said all that, how you doing, Kentucky Granny? I love my Kentucky girls. You know what? That's the first time I've ever said that. That's the very first time I've ever said that. And And my mom, she graduated from Kentucky. And so my mom was born in Tennessee. And I asked her one time, I was like, why didn't you go to UT? Because she loved UT. She loved, she, she wish I was still in college. I mean, and, Cheech, how you doing? I understand that everybody loves you. We're going back through that, aren't we? We're going back through that. Cheech, you're an awesome person. You know, here's the thing. So, like, you are, as far as I know, you're another handsome face going through the chat, right? And here you are. Everybody says, no, she's the coolest. And you come in and people love, you're like a famous chatter. Like Zach Zach wants to be like you. He does. So anyway, I love that though. That's such a high energy thing. It's a compliment for me. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. What? Afro Man never accused Ray from Dallas of being the only I think there's a streamer named JFK, right? Like, I honestly goodness don't know who that is. Because you know why? My time is very limited. I'm not watching weirdness. That's my girl right there. I love her. Oh yeah. You know what? Kelly, you know what? I totally forgot about the search of his house. Totally forgot about that part. You know, I was thinking, this is how much I've watched Jolene. All I could think of him was look at Lisa or whatever. You know what? I'm not. Okay, I like Kelly. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. So this is the thing. I found out she just got out of law school. I found out she just leaving the bar. I love all this stuff, right? I feel for her. I feel for her. I'm so happy to have her around because this is the time of your life. This is a time of your life. And you're gonna die. I mean, oh wait, hold on. I'm in got y'all. There's not notice. Kelly, you're gonna die. I did poorly in law school, obviously. I couldn't afford books. So I mean, I didn't have the books. But I was that way in college too. I wouldn't read them, you know. But there are a few classes that just I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know why it was. They just picked up on them. And one you'll laugh about this one. One was unemployment law, and I took that the year. I don't know when I took it. Anyway, never done unemployment law in my life. Never done anything around it. Couldn't remember anything because you know why? Tennessee changed. They completely stripped everything about their unemployment law. It was like disability and workers' comp, all that stuff, right? I forget what the class is called now. I think I got like an A in that one. And then it says that doesn't count. Point is that I got an A in First Amendment law. Like I was top of the class. I have no idea. No idea. But people came to me, they're like, you have horrible grades. You're horrible at everything. How do you get this so good? And I was like, my answer was, well, this Constitution's been here for 250 years. It doesn't change that much, you know. So they've been asking the same questions to it for years. And anyway, I can't remember Afro Man cause of action against him. You're going to do so much better than me. Get off YouTube. Get off YouTube. Go away from YouTube. Delete your account. Go focus on your life, on the real world. Get out of here. No, I love you, Death. And I hope I get to see your career go. I hope it's just awesome. USMC, how you doing? This is an ingrown hair if that's what made you think about sits. This drives me nuts. I have to point out my imperfections. I have to point them out. It drives me insane. What is the oh, that's a rage pig, isn't it? Rage pig. Wrong button. Wrong button. Sorry. That's too loud. Hang on. That's not working right. That's wonderful. I like to keep my electronics cool, and I forgot to turn the line. If you guys can ever hear a fan, please let me know, and I'll make sure that that is silenced. Flex is 10% hetero for you. Do I admit it? Then of course, I don't know Heather. But I need a Bay Harbor beauty products to make your hair come out right. What's wrong with my hair? Something wrong with my hair? I don't think they have hair products. Do they have hair products? What's wrong with my hair? Like, I use dirt. Used to be Jonathan. He's the guy who started. He's a stylist for the Stars in Beverly Hills. He has to have a show on Bravo. Let's let's go ahead and start this tonight. So listen, this was wonderful people over here in this world sent this to me. There are two things, and these are again, docket decoder. I've got to get docket decoder up here. Let's see here. Go to and you know what? It'd been a lot easier just to type in docket decoder and know how to go to the channel. Can get an extra view, but please, y'all, go check out docket decoder. So docket decoder originally learned of from Jolene. And is that pinned? What's this pinned? Yes. So she told me to go check it out. And then I was told that this is a crash course in everything crazy that we got going on. And guys, I still don't know. And here's the thing. So I could sit here, I could spend hours watching videos and stuff, and then what would that do, right? What would I come back knowing? Which one's this one? That's the one we want. Okay. I prefer to watch it first time. It's live reaction. These are live reaction videos, watching with you guys. And you all correct me. You tell me where to go. You tell me what to do. I'm 100% for all that. All right. That being said, so this is the satisfying downfall of Lauren. Let me say that wrong. I want to say Matthias, but it's Matthias. Skim Milk. Lauren Skim Milk. I'm such a loser. Oh, look at that. Look at my pretty wallpaper. Look at my pretty wallpaper. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, let's see. So I haven't hit this. It's been popped up. We hit the like, and we're going to stop. Now, let's do. You guys can have my pretty Ugly little mug. I'm going to change the camera to the other side because of Ralph here. Face. All right. Take a left. No. What happened? What's a no? It's not everything, but it's a good bit. Docket Decoder does a great job. These are only 30 minutes. There's 2 of them. We're going to run through these. And Matthias. You know who has a thigh ass? Wait a second. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I got a picture. I may have room for a picture. And this one, we're going to dedicate this picture to Olap because I know she's seen it. And she's going to be like, why are you dedicating that to me? I'm going to be like, because I like to tease Olaf. I don't know why, but she's so much fun to tease with. Oh my gosh. Olaf, I love you. You know I'm kidding around, okay? So oh, I'm going off screen. No. Oh, that's a thigh ass. Don't drop your phone while live streaming, y'all. Don't drop your phone. Wait, I say Olaf's name wrong? Don't drop your phone while live streaming. What? Why is Afroman stuck in my head now? Oh no! Cheats. Well, hold on. I can't get the cha. Cheech Savoli. Right? Savoli? Cheech Savoli? Or is it Cheech Savioli? Ooh, Avioli. That sounds fun. That's fun on your tongue. Say it, everybody. Savioli. Cheech Savioli. That sounds fun on your tongue. It feels fun on your tongue. Feels fun. All right. You ever wonder what it was like to be a toilet seat, Mitchell? No. Bay Harbor. There she is. We were talking about you. Our good new friend, Cheech told me that I need to get a hold of you about some hair product. My hair doesn't look up to Bay Harbor levels. Like ravioli was an S. Right. Oh, I did right. Savioli. Cheech Savioli. Now I feel like Beavis. And the great Corporeal. We gotta stop this. We gotta stop. No. Oh, ingrown hair in my face. I do. Well, you know what? Maybe that's what I told you guys. My face felt so soft after using their product. That might be why. So soft, my hair grew in right there. And it's just, it's such a pain. Then I also need to go to tanning bed. I look like milk. Well, there's too much milk around here. There's way too much milking going on around here. There must be a LOL cow somewhere. Let's hit play.
Everything. You're either viewed as an exploitative vulture or you're the empathetic advocate. And for nearly 5 years, Lauren Matthias didn't just hold the moral high ground. She believed that she owned the whole mountain. So, if you don't know who Lauren Matthias is, well, let me catch you up. So, Lauren runs a
Please
channel
do.
called Hidden True Crime. She's a former TV journalist with deep Mormon insider connections.
Is that
Her
love?
husband is Dr. John Matthias, who claims to be a forensic psychologist. Now, on camera, they sold themselves as this perfect power couple
I don't have
image.
my volume turned up.
But the actual visual brand is, well, it's interesting. Lauren has this constantly evolving face. She has a new hair color every few weeks, and she gets regular Botox that keeps everybody guessing about what she's going to look like the next time she pops on camera.
I do like Botox.
And John, on the other hand, is
Really?
overweight, unkempt. He has a permanent scowl on his face. I would say he's just kind of off-putting overall. Yet, together, they've positioned themselves as the ultimate safe space for victims. I mean, this story is actually insane. Imagine spending 5 years building that kind of trust. Mainstream TV deals, Netflix cameos, over 300,000 loyal subscribers that they referred to as their hidden gems, and then watching the entire facade get shattered in a single 9-hour live stream. And what spilled out wasn't just a personal meltdown. It was an absolute masterclass in narrative control, externalized blame, and a massive trail of collateral damage. So today, we aren't just looking at one bad live
That
stream.
camera jumps.
We're going to be talking about a decades-old playbook. This is the story of how the cracks were always there, how they were hidden behind a shield of victimhood, and how the very tactics that Lauren used to protect her empire
Craft, thank you for the
ultimately
floating
are
heart.
what burned it to the ground. So let's dive in. So every empire has an origin story, and Lauren's sounds like something that a Hollywood screenwriter might try to pitch to you.
I know this story. Okay, so hang on a second. So the Republic was gridlock with bureaucracy and politics of the Senate, and a Senator Palpatine, who later on was discovered as a Sith Lord, he manipulated the votes of the Senate by creating a conflict on a different planet, and where they appointed him to be the emperor of the Galactic Senate, so that way he could address the military problems without having to go through bureaucracy and politics. Later, he took a young understudy named Anakin Skywalker. Anakin was strong with the Force, but he went down the wrong path. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to the dark side. Anakin chose the dark side. It's an easy path, but forever it is miserable. That's how we got started. I got Lisa. Look him up, Lisa.
It started with a blind date. Lauren was still working as a TV reporter when she got set up with Dr. John Matthias. On their first date, which lasted for about 3 hours, what did they talk about? Well, they talked about a triple homicide that Lauren was covering in Idaho. As they told Keith Morrison on Dateline later, it felt like destiny. They were the ultimate true crime power couple. Now, fast forward to 2019, and Lauren stepped away from the local news to raise their young son. John's jail and prison work got shut down because of the pandemic, and suddenly they have all the time in the world, right as the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell case explodes, literally in their backyard. You know what's actually really wild when you step back and look at it? Right as Hidden True Crime was launching, Utah and Idaho basically turned into a true crime factory. I mean, you had the Lori and Chad Daybell saga.
Okay, so it did.
You had the
Oh my
Ruby
gosh, I
Frankie
love
and
that.
a passenger nightmare.
It became a true crime factory. That is the craziest thing in the world. Now, here's the thing. I know the outside of the Lori Vallow story. I do not know what happened. I know I have so much in my brain that I'm afraid is wrong, and I would be confused about, just confuse you about that. I don't even want to go down that path. I don't even want to try that until Somebody's gonna have to. You know what? I'm gonna get a crush on it. Teach me. But I don't know though, 'cause, like that's a lot. That's she's real. I mean, obviously close to the situation. That's just I don't know.
Then, of course, Warren Jeffs and the FLDS polygamy scandals and the
What?
University of Idaho murders,
What?
also known as the Idaho Four,
Wait, there is somebody married to that many women? What?
which would become one of the most talked about true crime stories in decades.
That is crazy.
Even the Corey Richards case that just ended in a conviction was right in Salt Lake City. And the most recent shocking murder of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here listing all these.
Oh,
and thinking,
wow.
Is anybody actually looking into this? Like, has somebody checked the water out in Utah and Idaho? But this was the perfect storm for a brand new true crime channel. And for Lauren, it was like rocket fuel. These weren't just distant stories. These were in her backyard. These were unfolding in the same areas where she'd grown up, where she'd worked as a broadcaster, where she had tons of local connections. But the real key to the channel's explosive growth was the unprecedented insider access that she was able to get from the victims' families themselves, especially Larry and Kay Woodcock in the Daybell case. They were incredibly generous, opening up to Lauren and John during the worst time of their entire lives. And that trust in those details became the backbone of Hidden True Crime. Lauren developed a very close relationship with them.
No kidding. No way. Okay, so I was I was starting in YouTube world, and I remember it's just there was so much, and it was like at the beginning of it, I already felt like I was so lost. I couldn't do it justice. I am not good. I don't like crime. I don't like it. I'm not one of these people that can just like throw myself into a case from the beginning. But with the Daybell, I was there close to the beginning, and I felt lost. I just felt like it was so overwhelming, so much the amount of stuff, it had so many different twists and turns. I felt like, oh, it was just, oh, I cannot believe that happened in your town. Holy cow!
But then later exploited it. And the channel doesn't just grow, it more detonated. Ruby Franke, Warren Jeffs, the University of Idaho, every case that hit her Mormon
Idaho
country
is so
wheelhouse
crazy.
became a phenomenon. Her fans, her hidden gems, were an insanely loyal group. There was ad revenue, sponsorships, merch, memberships. Mainstream doors flew open. Dateline, ABC, Netflix, and by mid-2025, everything looked absolutely perfect on camera. But behind the
Now, how did she get all that? That's just because of the Daybell stuff. Because I lost that there. He was talking about all these different crimes. I guess she covered all of them.
scenes, a completely different reality was brewing. And this story doesn't start with some massive scandal. It actually starts quietly with a fan named Christina. In 2024, while they were attending the Chad Daybell trial in Boise, Lauren meets Christina, an artist who starts doing graphic design for her channel. They're hanging out at trials and they're sharing Airbnbs when they travel, and they're just acting like they're best friends. But privately, Lauren was texting other people, and she was calling Christina names like annoying, loud, and anxious. And in the true crime world, secrets don't stay secret. And those texts got leaked. What followed was basically high stakes, mean girl drama between adult women. There was gossiping and backstabbing, friend group infighting. The judge.
Wait a second. I've been part of this world for 5 minutes. Christina is loud. What? I gotta go back. I gotta go back on this one. I gotta have what? Hang on. This is what I need to do. Where's the okay. Where are we here?
What followed was basically high stakes, mean girl drama between adult women. There was gossiping and backstabbing, friend group infighting, annoying, loud, and anxious. And then the true crime.
Annoying, loud, and anxious. Oh my god. Annoying, loud, and anxious? Are you guys being serious? That was what she called her? I've seen like this much of her work online. Like I said, I've been here for 5 minutes. And I'm sitting here going, wow, this person is so talented. This is talent like that, okay? I don't think computers. I don't think AI and stuff. That's the person who made the program, that was talent. But not a bunch of ones and zeros making something up. That's not talent. Look at your artist that their artwork has stood the test of time, you know, like Michelangelo, right? Da Vinci, stuff like this. the Ninja Turtles of the art world. That's just something special, and I think that's a gift to all of mankind if you can do something like that. But annoying, loud, and anxious. Like the only artists I've ever seen kind of like that are the ones in movies that are doing a heck of a lot of drugs, like psychedelic and cocaine. So you always had cocaine on top. Don't do drugs; they're bad. Oh my gosh, this is so great.
Crime world, secrets don't stay secret. And those texts got leaked. What followed was basically high stakes, mean girl drama between adult women. There was gossiping and backstabbing, friend group infighting. The judge in the later court case would even describe it as Real Housewives type drama. But Lauren panicked, and instead of handling things like an adult, she tried to weaponize the legal system. So Christina started making TikTok videos that did not mention Lauren by name, but she did talk about her ex-friend. So Lauren filed stalking and harassment charges, and she sought a civil stalking injunction to literally silence online discussions about her. Lauren got the temporary order pretty easily because it only requires an ex parte hearing and requires almost no real evidence, and the other side doesn't even get a chance to defend themselves at that phase. These orders exist to protect actual stalking victims, and Lauren was abusing that system, and to me, that's pretty disgusting. And here's where it gets truly sickening. So Lauren timed everything perfectly. She knew that Christina lived in Utah and that she'd already bought expensive tickets and made travel plans to go to CrimeCon in Aurora, Colorado. Lauren specifically points this out to the judge so that he would add CrimeCon to the order and ban Christina from attending. And then, because she had just interviewed Aurora police for her channel, Lauren preemptively called them to put them on alert for Christina. So Christina got served, her husband got served right after she had left Utah to go to Colorado. So she shows up at CrimeCon anyway, and then Lauren tried to have her arrested right there on the spot.
So, long story short, you're being served with a protective order.
Okay.
So you're not allowed to come within 500 feet of the respondent. You're not allowed to go to the convention. You can stay at the hotel, but you cannot go to the convention or 500 feet.
Question. I've had these tickets booked since last June.
If you violated the judge's order, we will arrest you and you have to go to jail. We don't have a choice about that.
No, that's fine. I'm just asking questions. I know you're doing your job. 100%. I'm not crying because, it's just a lot of five reasons.
Dude, that is normal. That's normal to cry when you're under a lot of pressure and a lot of you have the cops there. Yeah, I mean that's just normal.
Okay, so I understand you're doing your job. Can I ask questions?
This is her 360 video.
About it. I've had these tickets since last June. She knew that. She never did. I ended my friendship with her.
Okay.
In April, it's the last time I ever spoke to her, initiated. She's messaged me. I have police reports of her harassing me. I'm going to literally be fighting this. That's not the issue. The issue is like, I've had these since last June when I ended my friendship. She didn't have tickets here at all. She knew I was coming here. With that said, why am I getting punished when I've had these tickets? I'm sure they can look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just asking, given, what can I do? I'm here with my friends. Sorry.
Like I said, they're not kicking you out of the hotel, but you can't come to the crime con, right? So you can stay at the hotel.
I know,
just as long as you stay away from.
I have my friends are about to go on stage and present, and I'm bummed I can't see that either.
And I'm sorry, but that's kind of the unfortunate situation that we're in.
But the body cam footage that came out later tells the real story. It does not show a terrified victim who is hiding from a stalker. It shows Lauren and Grayson actively prowling the event, looking for Christina with an almost gleeful energy. They are clearly the aggressors and not the victims. They were following her schedule. They were timing their moves and using the court order as a weapon. And Grayson was right there every step of the way, pushing Lauren on like a little gleeful sidekick. And then after CrimeCon, Lauren even filed additional court papers.
Okay, so wait a second. So this was 2025 CrimeCon, and 2026 is she's still trying to do this tour? Oh, wait a second. I don't have these dates. What did I find? Okay. I'm on a different notepad now. Totally, that's girl school stuff. I have different notepads. I'm not prepared for any of this. So this is 2025. Okay. All right. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Kelly. 360. Sure again because of Lauren. Okay. All right. Hang on a second. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm caught up in messages. Thank you. Holy cow.
Trying to get sanctions against Christina for daring to show up. So for a while, the whole thing looked like messy mean girl drama on both sides.
Sanctions?
But once the full picture came out and the body cam footage dropped, it really became obvious that they were not playing on the same field at all. Christina's TikToks were one thing, but what Lauren was doing, she was spending court resources, manipulating service timing, and even weaponizing police against someone over private gossip. That was on a completely different level of calculated cruelty. And Lauren has done this exact same thing to other people that she has collaborated with. Lori Hellis is an attorney who appeared regularly on Hidden True Crime for nearly a year, giving legal analysis. Viewers loved Lori's breakdowns, so much so that some started saying that the only reason they tuned in was for Lori. Lauren immediately cut her off the show. And then when Lori wrote a book about a true crime case, Lauren somehow got an early copy of the manuscript, and she did.
Okay, so I know about the manuscript. No, but who is Lori again? I'm so sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. Holy cow.
Distributed it without permission to her own followers, and even contacted Lori's publisher trying to sabotage the deal and claim plagiarism. When someone sent Lori proof of what Lauren had done, Lauren called the police on him and accused that person of hacking her computer. Very classic Lauren move.
There's a YouTube creator who's a mean girl.
That's Lori.
When she's feeling threatened by someone else's success, she goes on the attack, just like some of your old middle school friends used to do. I appeared on this creator's show for nearly a year as her legal expert, and unbeknownst to me and without my permission, she distributed my copyrighted material to her followers. She gloated to friends about how she was undercutting my future success. She also began contacting my publisher, bombarding them with demands and claiming
Whoa. Wait a second. She gloated? She gloated about it? What? Oh, this is a problem. Oh, this is oh. Dude, this is who what type of all the words escape me. All the words escape me. All the big words, all the nice words, all the pertinent words I need to be using escape me. I'm having a problem trying to get past the fact that somebody would undercut somebody, do them wrong, and then gloat about it. That is the criminal mastermind of thinking. That is, oh wow, that is bad. Once one, always one. Yeah, it's totally bonkers. Olaf knows everything. Olaf is the center of our universe. If you don't realize that yet, you don't know what's happening. She is magnetism. She's where magnetic energy comes from. Eventually you will orbit her. Not in the way that some people are orbited because of things, but Lauren's yeah. Oh, no way. Oh, you guys. It gets better. It gets better.
Claiming that I had plagiarized her materials, trying to interfere with my business relationship with my publisher. This is this creator's MO. When they realize that they've screwed up, they lie, they shift attention, they weaponize the police, and she plays the victim. During CrimeCon this year, she swore out a stalking order against one of her former friends, who's also a true crime creator. As a result, that person was unable to attend the event she'd paid for, and at one point was humiliated by being escorted out of the hotel by bar police. The hearing for that stalking order was started, and it then continued until October. In the meantime, the judge told the complaining creator that it is not stalking just because someone says mean things about her. This creator is not a victim. Her followers are. The real victims are the victims of the crime victims who trusted her while she said vile things about them behind their backs. The people who are on fixed incomes who still find a way to send her a few dollars every month, they're the victims. So, ma'am, it's not defamation if it's true. And it's not stalking just because you don't like it when people tell the truth about your vicious, unethical, dishonest, and unkind behavior. You're running scared because you're afraid that the 317,000 people who support your way of life might finally learn the truth about you, and you might lose your cushy lifestyle. You are a middle school mean girl in an overfilled, Botox grown woman's body. Grow up.
Which brings us to October.
Oh, that was the greatest rant I've ever heard. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so great. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of
Yeah,
this.
it's 1-800 fuck directly off. That's the code for you. Write it down.
Oh my gosh, that was so great. Oh, that was so great. I want to hear that again. That was so good. Oh, that was so retired attorney. Hey, once you're one, you're always one. Oh my gosh. Right. Hey, Dental Lori, how you doing? How you doing? Holy cow, I've got I'm sorry. I hate rewinding stuff, but man, that's just
Dishonest and unkind behavior. You're running scared because you're afraid that the 317,000 people who support your way of life might finally learn the truth about you, and you might lose your cushy lifestyle. You are a middle school mean girl in an overfilled Botox grown woman's body. Grow up.
Which brings us to October of 2025.
What was the word? I'm like overfilled Botox. Overfilled Botox. I've never heard those words put like that before. You're in an overfilled Botox grown woman's body. Overfilled Botox. I'm writing it down. Overfilled Botox. Overfilled Botox. Oh my gosh, that's so great. Oh, that's so great. It really is a great rant, isn't it, Mitchell? Oh my gosh. I love her too, Steve. Love her. Oh, it's a total mic drop. Total. Oh my gosh. I want to get an argument with somebody who has too much Botox and call them you're an overfilled Botox what is it? Overfilled Botox grown woman's body. You're a mean girl. That was the part before that. A middle school mean girl, overfilled Botox grown woman's body. You're a middle school mean girl. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let's see it. Let's see if this works on the string notes. Flip this. You're an overfilled. No, wait. Keep clipping it. Clip this. You're a middle school mean girl in an overfilled Botox grown woman's body. Grow up. Clip that. There you go. Supposedly StreamYard, if you say to clip it, it will clip it. But no, I've said it so many times, it's not going to know what to do. But still, that was so great. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, this is...
Which brings us to October of 2025, the 9-hour live stream where the empire implodes in real time. So Lauren frames it as a reluctant taking back my narrative, and she reads every police report, declaration, text, and email verbatim. She airs raw panic attack footage from her family, and she keeps repeating, "I've done nothing wrong. This is a smear campaign, and I'm not evil." When she finally addresses her own leaked text messages where she trashed her friends, contractors, and even people in victim circles, she simply reframed them as bar talk or therapy. She credits her producer Grayson for spending 60 hours combing through 6 years of messages so that she could send generic apologies later. And then on her live stream, she said she didn't even know why she was sending them. But here is the most insane contradiction of the entire live stream. Lauren said that she dismissed the court hearing because she wanted to spare her young son the spectacle of being live streamed. And then she turned around and gets on YouTube and broadcasts her family's deepest trauma. She talks about their self-harm ideation, the anxiety meds, the role-reversed mom protect behaviors. And she does it to hundreds of thousands of live viewers and millions more that'll see it in clip.
Hey, Liz, how you doing? How you been? Oh my gosh, I love her. I love all you guys are so awesome.
Lauren details John's dangerously high blood pressure through crocodile tears. and then actually blames it entirely on the bullies and never mentions his severe obesity that doctors would obviously point to. Critics just get pathologized as a mob engaging in coercive control. And the meltdown here isn't what created the problem, but it did remove the filter. The aftermath is where things got genuinely dark, because it wasn't just internet drama anymore. This was about the victims. So Kay Vallow Woodcock is the biological grandmother of JJ Vallow, and she's one of the most prominent family advocates in the Lori Vallow Daybell trials. Her
I got lost on my screens right there. Jackie, thank you so much. I really feel for everyone that Lauren spoke about and the victims she spoke to. It sounds horrible. Sounds horrible. Using the I don't understand it. I don't understand that personality type. Like, here's something that I noticed like on YouTube. Like, you get a dopamine rush, right? Dopamine's a fantastic drug. We'll just say that what it is. Even though it's all in your brain, you know. It's a you and you'll see creators that they can't give up that dopamine rush. And they do things it's like Kick is a platform that has a lot of this where they're doing the IRL streaming, and they're the ones that they go up and they in people's faces, they cause problems, all this other stuff. They're trying for the clicks and the views. Enragement equals engagement, but you just can't. I can't figure out though, like when you have that, like I always tell people, I'm like, you feel that feeling, you got to fight that. You got to be conscious of it. But like with Skim Milk over there, she's like, you're taking people's stories, that type of person. That's what I'm getting to. Well, what does that feel like? How does that work in your brain? What's the chemicals that work? That like you hear a story, you go, oh, that's really good. And then you turn around and you talk to the next person and you tell them that it's you. Now I understand, like, you know, mixing up stories when you have a lot of people around and you are like sharing things. And sometimes, you know, you'll say, like, you know, and then I told them this, and it was really like the person next to you that said it. It's just it's part of how our brains put our memories together. But when you're not even in the room, and I'm afraid to do wiggles because thank you. We'll have to figure out something. We have a donkey. Koji, thank you so much. And I'm probably saying your name wrong. I just realized. Probably Gogi. I'm saying Gogi. I have a donkey. That's not my donkey. I don't have the donkey. I have a broken baker.
Yes. No, forget it.
Even he doesn't stick around. Hey, Dave, how you doing, buddy? Harley, how are you? So,
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
play that a lot. That one was an immediate hit. I'm like, man, if that got hit.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Scared. I'm scared. That's what it boils down to. Wait. Hold on. She loves to make someone else's tragedy hurt. I don't understand that. Do you? Do you understand why people would do that? I mean, I knew a girl when I was 15. She was 15. We were both 15. The only reason I'm saying that is because that's like, it was messed up. You know, you're in that time of your life. 15? Yeah, 15. You're in that time of your life where you're like, you know, interesting, it's new, and you're like, relationships like that are just, we were just friends. But it's just like, it was so weird. It was like, her stories. I'm like, why? I don't understand it. And that's why this, I almost said middle age. Middle school over Botox Betty over here. Botox Betty. Kaylin, I do not have. Okay, so y'all, this is my friend Kaylin. Okay, so you guys want to see something silly? So Kaylin's been a wild night, y'all. So the whole, you know, the Dollywood thing that I tell you guys that would put on stuff. So I got to meet for the first time the Glare. No idea who he. I mean, I knew who he was, but I had no idea. I'd never met him, never talked to him, nothing like that. Right? In 5 seconds, you know, like 5 minutes, whatever it was like right away. We hit it off. The guy is just cool. He's just cool. It's funny because when you meet somebody, like you see him on this stuff, right? And people look different and they act different. Everything's just all different. You meet him in real life. Like he met me, I was wearing a mullet wig. I thought it was funny. Nobody else did. I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, so I was on his stream tonight, and earlier I was it sounds so bad when I to say it out loud, but I'm not gonna stop. I love doing it. So like new toys, right? Like toys you had as a kid or stuff like that. The new stuff is really cool. It looks just like you imagine as a kid. Well, now with AI, you can take pictures of these things and you can make them do things. And I love just goofing off. Like that is my goof off thing. And I'm sitting there and I've got what's a Banthal, John Banthal, Punisher. I just taking a picture. I just done a video and I look up and this is what I see. I see the Glare, and he's built like this. You know, he's got the muscles and all this stuff, wearing that tight black shirt, and then you see the white. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, he looks like the Punisher. So I took a picture. I didn't even notice. He was he's like posing for that picture. That was complete accident. I saw that and died. I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. And I've got I linked it to the shorts because I didn't want people to think I sit here with action figures and like, you know, take pictures of people with them. That might be a little weird. That's the first time I've ever done that. Okay. And that I know of. Anyway. So Kaylin saw me later on in the chat and she's like, hey, do you have like a Barbie doll you can put with the Glare action figure? Punisher is now the Glare. I'll never see him the same again. And I was like, well, the problem is that this guy is only 6 inches and Barbie's like twice the size. And then I realized that kind of looked bad. And now I'm really embarrassed. It's awkward. I don't know how to get out of this. You know what? Let's just wiggle. That didn't make it any better. All right, we're going to keep on going with our show tonight. Back to The story of a horrible LOL cow in Nevada. And if I could figure out how to get myself out of this, I would. Oh, gosh.
Tragedy, along with the trust that she and her.
And this is, we go straight to a very serious story, and their name is Woodcock.
Her husband Larry,
Only this happens
Lauren,
to me. This
literally
happens to
built
me.
Hidden True Crime. Lauren gained unprecedented insider access by befriending them. And then once the trials were over and Lauren had extracted everything she needed, the relationship was basically discarded. And when Kay's daughter, Kresha, used clips of their own family footage on her channel, Lauren actually hit her with a copyright strike to silence her. On December 29th, 2025, Kay left a public comment on Hidden True Crime's YouTube video. Kresha screenshot it before it could get deleted, and here's what Kay wrote in part. When I realized 4 years later how unprofessional Lauren Matthias is by taking full advantage of our kindness during the worst time of our entire life, she lied, she manipulated, she used us. Our story is the foundation which built this channel. It's disgusting. She is disgusting. She struck my daughter's channel the night I asked her to air my grievances. She tried to silence me and Kresha. She isn't who she proclaims to be, period. Two-faced 24/7. You literally cannot come back from that. The ultimate symbol of your empathetic advocate brand is calling you a two-faced manipulator. But Kay's daughter, Kresha, didn't stop at a comment. She went further and released her own video reading a direct, unfiltered statement straight to Lauren. And it is brutal.
Lauren, let's be crystal clear. Your 9-hour pity party of a live stream wasn't a desperate cry for help. It was a masterclass in manipulation and a desperate preemptive strike against the truth you knew was coming. And while you were shedding those crocodile tears, my family and I were reliving a genuine, unimaginable horror. You, with your theatrical vulnerability and performative martyrdom, dare to compare your quote-unquote whisper campaign and being labeled dark to the brutal murder of my uncle, Charles Vallow. You equated online criticism to a man fighting for his life against a cult that ultimately extinguished it. The audacity is breathtaking, and the disrespect is unforgivable. While my family was navigating the darkest period imaginable, the murders of Charles, Tylee, and my only nephew, JJ, you were busy with your shunning campaigns, isolating me from my own flesh and blood, and you were okay with it. You engaged in mean girl tactics, talking God knows what kind of shit about me and my family behind our backs, all while publicly exploiting our tragedy for your own gain. Then, when we were no longer useful, you betrayed us. You are a leech, Lauren, feeding off the pain of others, and your 9-hour spectacle was just another feast. You used victims as props, invoking the names of JJ, Tylee, and Tammy, not out of genuine concern, but as strategic tools to bolster your own credibility and deflect from your own rotten behavior. My mother, Kay Woodcock, a woman who has endured unimaginable grief, becomes a shield for your ego, a name you drop to make it harder for anyone to believe you could ever speak ill of her. How dare you? The implication that our suffering is just another piece of content, another strategic asset for your brand, makes me sick to my stomach. We are not your content, Lauren. We are real people with real pain, and you have capitalized on every last drop of it. You fled the courtroom, not because you feared for your safety, but because you feared accountability. You weaponized the legal system, using a serious tool meant for protection as a prop in your personal drama. You sought a temporary order based on what appears to be a weak and misrepresented evidence, only to abandon it before scrutiny. That's so important right there. That's not seeking justice. That's playing a game. And the stakes for my family were life and death. Your complaints about the judge not closing the courtroom, how entitled can one person be? The principles of open justice mean nothing to you when they interfere with your narrative. Let me tell you, the true crime community is seeing straight through you. Your judgment, integrity, and ethical conduct are in question. Your willingness to engage in such a public, protracted, and manipulative campaign is a massive red flag that is now impossible to ignore. Trust is shattered, not just for us, but for anyone who has witnessed this charade. And the monetization, Lauren, the frequent ads on your 8-hour or your 9-hour stream, the paid private Patreon stream where you allegedly laughed and thanked the stalker, that's not just ethically questionable. It's morally reprehensible. You transformed, genuinely performed distress into a product, profiting from the very trauma you so carelessly co-opted. That, Lauren, is the ultimate betrayal. So here's your dose of karma, delivered publicly and with the disdain you've so richly earned. This isn't just for me and my family. It's for everyone you've wronged, everyone you've exploited, and everyone who has seen through your thin veneer of victimhood. The last impression you will leave is not one of a brave survivor, but of a calculated manipulator, a user, and a betrayer. The bill has arrived, Lauren. It's time for you to pay your dues.
And as if betraying the very families that Lauren built her channel on wasn't bad enough.
Was that the video that she copyright struck? What? Hold on. I didn't know about this. Holy cow, no way. Her filming that memorial and doing it walking up to Kay while she filmed was insane. So distasteful. Oh, no way. Typos are part of the game. Part of the game? Is this a game? No, it's not. Sorry. Holy cow. That wasn't the video? Okay. Golly, because I was going to say that would be so freaking bad. Holy cow. Oh, I got to find that video. That's, oh my gosh, there's so many things, y'all.
The internet has now discovered that some of the content on their channel may not even be original. Side-by-side videos have showed that Hidden True Crime is clearly lifting large sections of scripts practically verbatim from Annie Elise's 10 to Life channel.
He was soon employed developing wideband television distribution systems or taking a position with the U.S. Department of State as a technical security engineer. In that role, he designed and implemented security systems for U.S. embassies around the globe, managing a team of 50 staff and living in locations like Bangkok, Cairo, Moscow, Beijing, and South Africa. His work placed South Africa. I love South Africa. Placed him at the forefront of embassy security, protecting personnel and assets from potential threats. In 2009, after 2 decades of service, 2 decades, after 2 decades, Byron retired and returned to his childhood home in Little Falls, Minnesota. Little Fields. I liked it better when you said Little Fields. Okay, let's back to Annie, the originator of the content. Okay, Annie, give it to us.
And was hired to develop wideband television distribution systems. After that, he became employed by the United States Department of State as a technical security engineer, where he would develop and implement security systems for foreign U.S. embassies around the world. He had 50 staff members who...
I love this chick's hair. I love this. I love that. Who is she? I didn't know her is what I needed, is what I care about.
And had extensive responsibilities to protect the embassies from threats of terrorism. Byron was able to travel the world with this career and lived in places like Bangkok.
Oh, not Bangkok. Oh,
Bangkok.
Oh,
You save big money. You save big money.
I don't know, Annie.
You shop Menards.
Oh my God, Annie. She's just saying what you said.
Cairo, South Africa.
South Africa?
Moscow.
Even in the same order. It'd be different if it didn't start with Bangkok. But Lauren was like, Bangkok, South Africa.
And Beijing. His father, Ted, unfortunately, passed away in 1998. And after 20 years working at the State Department,
he moved back to his hometown of Little Falls, Minnesota.
In 2009, he retired to his home.
Oh my God.
Home in Little Falls, Minnesota. He retired there to live with his mother, Ida, in his childhood home.
Oh, Lauren.
Wait, did that say that was the home of Yogi Berra? Yogi was awesome.
Lauren, why you do this?
The catcher.
How are you going to sue other?
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember where I watched She's Aiming the Children Memorial and all the flower arrangements. Spots K reading a car on the other. A card of one of the arrangements and Phaser Space.
Other people for copyright and stealing your material when you are very blatantly, allegedly, stealing Annie Elise's video from 2 years ago. Bangkok.
In locations like Bangkok, Cairo, Moscow, Moscow, Beijing, and South Africa. His work placed him at the forefront of embassy security, protecting personnel and assets from potential threats. In 2009, after 2 decades of service, Byron retired and returned to his childhood home in Little Falls, Minnesota, moving in with his mother, Ida, following her passing.
What? Moving in, same, exactly. Not good. Oh, yeah.
3 years later, he was left alone in the sprawling 16-acre property along the Mississippi River with ample land to maintain and renovate.
Ample land or apple land.
He devoted himself to hobbies that suited his independent nature: hunting, hiking, outdoor photography, and collecting rare antiques.
Hunting, hiking, outdoor photography, and collecting rare antiques. All right. Annie? Did you say this too?
That wasn't the guy that was on Turtle Boy last night.
I didn't think it was going to be this much. I mean, I watched a little bit of it, but I was like, oh, certainly it's not going to be that much. But here we are. Okay, Annie, give it to us, girl. Give it to us, OG storyteller.
Years working at the State Department. In 2009, he retired to his home in Little Falls, Minnesota. He retired there to live with his mother, Ida, in his childhood home. Byron was always so dedicated to his work. He never settled down and got married or had any children. So when his mother, Ida, passed away 4 years after his retirement, he was left with a lot of free time. The home he shared with his mother was on a beautiful, sprawling 16-acre piece of land with the Mississippi River directly in the back.
An ample 16 is the difference.
After he inherited the home, he enjoyed doing renovation projects and
don't talk about hiking or outdoor photography or antique stuff
and various yard projects on this property. Byron was said to be a very private person, and he developed several hobbies that he could
I thought Lauren came up with the hobbies on her own, and she didn't.
Alone, such as hunting, hiking, and outdoor photography.
In the same order, Lauren? Antiquing?
One of his most prized possessions was a $6,000
in the same order, Lauren. You couldn't even mix it up. Instead of you have to lead with hunting, you could be like outdoor photography, hiking, hunting. But no, Lauren was like, I'm just gonna say the same thing.
Ample land to maintain and renovate. He devoted himself to hobbies that suited his independent nature: hunting, hiking, outdoor photography, and collecting rare.
No way saying she's very different. She's very different. Did you catch that? She went. She just stares at the camera. Did the dead fish look at the dead fish? He dedicated himself. That was the most movement I've seen. That's the most movement that face has seen in 40 years.
Antiques. One of his most prized possessions was a $6,000 Nikon camera used to capture Minnesota's wildlife and scenery. Though private by nature, Byron was well liked in his community. He formed close friendships with neighbors John and Kathy Lane. And
I think Annie's going to tell us about. I think Annie's going to tell us about the freaking camera. You guys are pretty sure she's going to.
Let's get back to Brad Pitt.
All right, Annie.
Let's get back to Brad Pitt.
Come back, lady.
Hobbies that he could do alone, such as hunting, hiking, and outdoor photography. One of his most prized possessions was a $6,000 professional Nikon D800 camera, which he used to photograph the wildlife and scenery of Minnesota.
That's exactly, Lauren, that is exactly what you just said, what Annie said 2 years ago.
Another one of his hobbies was collecting rare antique items.
I thought maybe Lauren had the rare antique items. Maybe. Nope.
It's inappropriate.
Annie said it first.
Grayson used to work for Annie Elise, and Lauren has been a
Melissa
guest on her
Jane,
show many
how you
times.
doing?
The plagiarism accusations nuked whatever credibility might have been remaining. But here's the twisted part. Ironically, this whole mess has been good for business. The 9-hour live stream, well, it's their longest video ever, and it's clocked in at over 450,000 views, and it's still racking up watches months later. And John's follow.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's 9 freaking hours of insanity. Okay, like if I were to watch it, I started watching that with Jolene. Right, that's how this whole thing got started. Watching Jolene's take on it, she got it took it 3 hours to go through an hour of it, something like that. You can't go through the whole thing. You can't sit down and go through the whole thing because you got to take notes. if you tried to describe this and like to anybody in reality, right? Any real world people, 3D people, you know, they would look at you funny because you can't say the words. It's like it makes sense up here because you've seen 9 hours of insanity. But when you try to explain to somebody, how do you remember everybody's names? How do you say that this happened to, you know, wonderful people that she called her friends? And what I love is here's something else. Like this is what I want to probably find out. Like it's not like all y'all, everybody knew her at the same time. This is a pattern. This is a pattern of insanity. And then when I say insanity, I'm talking about it's crazy, right? Like insanity is in like a general term. I'm not diagnosing her or saying anything ill will. Have fun with overfilled. Not my words. Not my words. Just having fun with it all. Meeting new people. Having a good time. Holy cow. So is that it?
Well, we respond video has done really solid numbers too. The subs might have dipped a bit at first, and people might have unsubbed when the leaks hit. And after the 9-hour live,
nobody ever unsubs.
But they're back up to around 325,000 now. And the daily uploads are keeping things rolling.
I think she's got like 340.
All press is good press, right? And let's be honest, this drama is more gripping than their dry case recaps ever were. People are tuning in for updates, but now a lot of them are just watching to laugh, to meme the Botox glow-ups, to side-eye the mismatched couple who somehow turned true crime into a true clown show. And that's the real gut punch. Lauren's always chased legitimacy. She's always wanted to be considered the serious journalist and not just another YouTuber. I mean, she looks down on trial tourists. She positions herself above the noise. But this, well, now she is the noise. She's the spectacle. Her views might be up and money might be flowing, but the trust, it's gone. Nobody takes her seriously anymore. She's not an advocate. She's the punchline. And no amount of daily consistent uploads fixes that. And that's the story so far. 5 years of trust built on empathy and then really shredded by leaks, lawsuits, lies, and a live stream that somehow made them richer, all while destroying the brand that they spent years building. Now, let me just talk to you guys for a second. A lot of us have been consumed by this Lauren Matthias drama for the last 6 months. And one of the biggest frustrations that I keep running into is that there's just not been one solid video that I could send somebody to just to kind of hear the basics of the situation. And that's actually one of the reasons why I made this video, was to give everybody a clear overview in one place. Obviously, there are so many different aspects and some very important aspects that this doesn't even touch on. But I think it gives somebody a good basis if they want to start digging deeper into all this.
That's what we came here for. Holy cow. So, I don't even remember. I don't. I'll tell you honestly, you know what I remember the whole thing, the key thing I remember? You're a middle school. You're a middle school mean girl in an over Botox filled grown woman's body. Boom. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's one more and it's short. It's short. It'd be a lot shorter if I quit talking so much. This whole thing would be a lot shorter if I quit talking. Oh boy. All right. This is share this instead.
Lauren Matthias, a journalist, and at Hidden True Crime.
I like the way this starts out. You guys are gonna love this one. Let's go to Kaylin. How do you know all this stuff? Like, you are like the YouTube person.
Before we begin, I'm Lauren Matthias, a journalist, and at Hidden True Crime, we delve into the hidden motives of unfathomable crimes.
And he's getting ready to say, and I'm here because I can't wait for Brad Pitt to arrive.
Along with my co-host here, criminal psychologist Dr. John Matthias.
Hidden true crime. So
you missed middle school mean girl over Botox woman over Botox. You're a middle school mean girl in an over Botox grown woman's body.
Tells a very specific image. The ultimate victim-friendly channel. Lauren and John Matthias constantly remind their audience that they are the voice for the voiceless. And they claim to know exactly who the real victims are, and often from the very first day of the case. They lean heavily on John's psychological expertise to identify victims early and to uncover what they call the hidden motives. And that is their entire brand. That's the whole point of their channel name, Hidden True Crime. They claim to go deeper than the usual money and sex explanations, and they claim to see what everyone else is missing. But in the world of true crime, credibility is the only currency that actually matters. In our previous video, we looked at the raw evidence. We looked at Lauren's 9-hour live stream.
This is just for everybody. Then I'm going to take back my narrative. And I'm going to own my narrative.
Wait, is
and I'm going
Botox
to tell
leaking out
you
her nose?
everything tonight.
The police body cam footage.
I've had these since last June when I ended my
No, hold on a second. First of all, I want you guys to know I don't care about the Botox or anything like that. I'm not making fun of her, right? Like, I'm not making fun of anybody who does anything like that. I think it's funny because it's part of the whole joke of the thing. Right? I mean, it's just kind of like this, like, they have to wear a tie? Is that a real cop or is that a rent-a-cop? Anyway, just making fun of everything.
friendship. She didn't have tickets here at all. She knew I was coming here.
And we looked at sworn court filings. We saw exactly how Lauren responds when she feels exposed. We saw the pattern that was undeniable. There was lying, making up reckless accusations in order to shift blame away from herself. There was weaponizing of police, and there was a willingness to sacrifice anyone to protect her own image, even the people that she claimed to fiercely protect. Lauren's disregard for how the whole situation was affecting the people that were closest to her, people like her producer, Grayson, is really evident from very early on in that 9-hour live stream. I mean, throughout the whole live stream, Lauren's repeatedly playing up this kind of maternal, highly protective role when it comes to Grayson. But then she turns around and in front
Breathe. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Look at ceiling cat. Look at ceiling cat. Don't say anything.
of an audience of hundreds of thousands, Lauren airs a private video of Grayson who's crying and saying she's terrified. And why? Because Lauren needed her as a shield. Lauren even admitted later on camera that Grayson had begged her, saying, please, 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 do not ever show these videos. Yet Lauren pressured Grayson to take one for the team, just because Lauren had shown a...
Liz, I'm glad you said that. That's, I don't know, we're getting close to a year. When I first said, like, you know, my channel, I just want my channel to be something that my mom would have been proud of. I don't care about numbers and all other stuff. That's why I say, like, I'd rather be a country club than an arena. I'd rather have a respectful channel than a circus.
vulnerable video of herself already.
By the way, Grayson originally said, please, please, please do not ever show those videos. But because I showed the one at the beginning of this live, she decided to take one for the team and let me show that.
But this wasn't the team's mess. This was Lauren's mess. And a truly protective person isn't going to manipulate somebody into overriding their own boundaries just to make themselves look better. This was the ultimate proof that when Lauren gets cornered, her own self-preservation trumps keeping anyone else out of harm's way. That same pattern of narrative manipulation appears when we look closely at John's psychological analysis. The issue isn't just that they rush to declare who the victim is, it's how John actively assigns dark and hidden motives to Fifth of Channel's branding.
Look, she looks stupid. She must be stupid. Y'all be sure and say, hey, my buddy Rick here. He's a really good guy. He gosh, I think Rick might have been around before I was monetized. I'm glad to see him around. I'm thinking about him a lot. I'm proud of you, buddy. Proud of you, brother.
Even when the facts completely contradict him. Take their coverage of the tragic Nick Reiner case. John confidently psychoanalyzed the family dynamic, and he specifically focused on the relationship between Nick's father, Rob, and his grandfather, Carl. John painted a picture of a deeply troubled and toxic relationship, and he cited specific articles and interviews as his proof. But there was a massive problem, because if you actually go and read those source articles and interviews, they don't say that at all. They depict a healthy and loving relationship between a father and son. John didn't just misinterpret the data, he somehow extrapolated a toxic motive out of thin air to make the content more sensational. And this isn't just a YouTube problem for the Matthiases, because when John tries to bring this brand of expertise into actual courtrooms, he gets dismantled.
What?
In a recent federal case regarding child exploitation, John was hired by the defense to write a psychosexual evaluation for a defendant's sentencing. The state's official response to John's report is pretty damning. The prosecution explicitly stated that his evaluation lacked sufficient indicia of reliability and that urged the court to completely disregard it. And why? Because the state found that John didn't just misinterpret data, he actively manipulated or misunderstood vital information to provide a low-risk opinion for the defendant.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. This was a lot deeper than all that. Holy cow. All right, first of all, Richard Dittmer. And this is in the sentencing?
Defendant's sentencing. The state's official response to John's report is pretty damning.
Let's see here. Oh, wow. Part 2 of it. The government asks us here, Matthias's psychosexual report is not reliable and cannot support a further downward variance. The government asks that the court give no weight to Matthias's opinion as to Dittmer III's recidivism risk, as it lacks sufficient evidence indicia. I can't talk tonight, y'all. Of reliability to support its probable accuracy. Was USSG subsection 6A1.3. The psychosexual test used by Matthias lack sufficient indicia of reliability to measure for recidivism in this case. The government asked the court give no weight to the predictions of recidivism, including Dittmer III's psychosexual evaluation, because those predictions rely on a concerningly incomplete definition of recidivism. Matthias utilized the static 99R, the Vermont assessment of sex offender risk 2, Vassar 2, the sex offender treatment and intervention progress scale, and the violence risk appraisals guide to evaluate Dittmer III's risk of recidivism. First, researchers found that applying the what was the violence risk appraisal guide? It's just, I don't know why VRAG is not something I want to say when talking about sexual offenders here. Sexual offenders did not accurately predict sexual offenders recidivism, and therefore the sex offender risk appraisal guide was developed from the VRAC. Matthias does not utilize. So he uses the wrong source material. He uses the entirely wrong source material. Wow. He's talking. Okay, wait a second here. Do you realize? Okay, these are the two different, the two different guides, right? One is for violence. One is for sexual offenders. That is a huge difference. Huge. That's incompetency. That's not knowing your job. It's not knowing your job. It's not knowing. That's embarrassing. When the government's coming back and saying, you don't know, you use the wrong material, bro. Like, that's just bad.
The prosecution explicitly stated that his evaluation lacked sufficient.
All right, the government asked that the court give no weight to his opinion as a difference in recidivism, as it lacks sufficient indicia of reliability supports.
Sufficient indicia of reliability.
That's part of what I just read.
And then urged the court to completely disregard it. And why? Because the state found that John didn't just misinterpret data, he actively manipulated or misunderstood vital information to provide a low-risk opinion for the defendant. He incorrectly scored multiple psychosexual tests. The prosecution pointed out that if John had scored them correctly, the defendant would have actually been placed in the moderate high risk category. Instead of looking at the defendant's actual documented conduct, like committing a hands-on offense against a 7-year-old, John relied almost entirely on the defendant's own uncorroborated self-reporting.
7-year-old?
John even included false claims
A
in his report,
7-year-old?
stating as a fact that the defendant admitted to being abused as a toddler. The problem was that the defendant never said that. John simply wrote down a favorable narrative, and it wasn't actually backed by any evidence. But the most devastating detail was buried in the footnotes in that court filing. The government explicitly pointed out that John Matthias has never testified as an expert in federal.
So he's never testified as an expert in federal court, has never testified as an expert as to adult psychosexual evaluations or recidivism, and the last time he testified as an expert was in 2011. I don't know what year this is. In family juvenile or
federal court. He had never testified as an expert on adult psychosexual evaluations or on recidivism. In fact, as of 2021, the last time that he had testified as an expert at all was a decade earlier in a 2011 family juvenile court proceeding. Suddenly, it kind of makes sense why this power couple is guarding John's resume, his CV, and his work history as though they're state secrets. When your verifiable public record includes the government accusing you of manipulating vital information, and court documents reveal that you completely lack the federal expert experience that you imply that you have, you can't really afford to let your audience look too closely, can you?
y'all. This is another friend of mine, Tizzy here. Let's see, where is? Oh, I don't know how far I am back in the chat. I hate when I'm lost. Oh, there she is. All right, Tizzy. So, y'all, Tizzy for a good time. It's call Tizzy for a good time. I just said that, didn't I? Hey, look, I am not a federal expert. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That sounded horrible. All right. So, but Tizzy's a good person and really good work. And if I can ever hit the buttons right, there you go. Look at that. Boom. All right. Go check out Tizzy's channel, y'all, if you don't mind. Just awesome work. Very talented, very, very talented. And She's a good-looking Muppet. If you're into that sort of thing. If you're into that sort of thing. Disney, I've lost my mind tonight. Lost my mind. This stuff is crazy is why. You gotta be crazy to cover it.
We've seen the fallout of this unchecked expertise. In the Lori Vallow Daybell case, family members who once trusted John and Lauren now feel betrayed and backstabbed by them. In the situation with Christina, Lauren positioned herself as the victim and even convinced a judge to issue orders based on claims that we later saw were proven false. Christina actually became the real victim in that situation, the victim of false accusations, of lost opportunities, and public humiliation. So this is the problem with loudly and repeatedly branding yourself as victim-friendly. When you make that your entire marketing strategy, there really is a heavy unspoken accusation that's attached to that. You're implying that everybody else covering the case isn't victim-friendly, or at least not as victim-friendly. But the truth is, almost everybody inherently supports and cares about victims. You don't get a medal for wanting justice. But simply declaring yourself as victim-friendly is definitely not the same thing as actually being victim-friendly. That's just virtue signaling. So our justice system is built on the assumption that people are innocent until they're proven guilty. When you claim moral superiority by declaring who the victims are from the very get-go, and especially when that declaration rests on flawed and manufactured psychology, you don't just risk being.
So I have to ask you this. Is this the hashtag everybody's going with? Because I keep putting hashtag free Christina.
Wrong. You risk harming the actual victims, and you undermine the very system that is meant to protect them. But the irony goes even deeper, because Lauren's own father has an extensive criminal history, and it's rooted in white-collar real estate and mortgage fraud. And these were not victimless crimes. He devastated dairy farmers, homeowners, and families that lost their entire life savings. Yet the channel that claims to be the voice for the voiceless doesn't seem to show that same concern for the people that her own father hurt.
Decoder.
Now, we're definitely going to be covering and unpacking her father's history. And we're going to talk about how exactly his actions helped shape Lauren's playbook. But that's a little later, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because we're not there yet. If we look at the drama from the last 6 months, the lessons are pretty clear. We've seen Lauren's playbook now. We've watched how she responds when the mask slips and when she starts to feel exposed.
Is this real or is this AI? This is AI. Nobody's holding red Kool-Aid on a white bed. This isn't real. Nobody normal would be doing this. That's got to be AI. Right, with the red Kool-Aid? Well, I mean, why would you have that on a white comforter or a white duvet? Oh, that's crazy.
And frankly, her track record gives us every reason to doubt her judgment when it comes to who the real victim is. Because we've seen that in all of these situations, she consistently waves the banner of victimhood herself. So whenever Lauren's caught in a lie, or whenever she wants to attack a former friend, her go-to move is to immediately claim that she is the one being abused. She weaponizes the language of trauma to shield herself from accountability. We've seen it with Christina. We've seen it with Lori Hellis. We've seen it with her many, many former friends and work associates, as well as anybody else who has dared to speak out about her shameful behavior. And seeing that specific tactic play out in real time changes how we view her history. When somebody comes forward with a story of trauma or harassment, our natural instinct, and probably the morally right instinct, is to believe them. We want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But that's exactly why Lauren's playbook is so incredibly destructive. When she files false police reports or cries abuse just to win an internet argument, she doesn't just hurt the people that she's targeting. She diminishes the credibility of actual, genuine victims who might desperately need these systems to survive. And ironically, she's completely undermined her own story. We want to be able to believe the claim.
Dental Lori, someone's going to have to tell them that their names, well, they'll tell them that their name's been changed. But I haven't settled on whatever it was I just said. I'd like to tell you what, these squirrels up here, don't get them going. They're loud. They can run in circles. Oh my gosh. Dirty Callahan, how you doing? My husband and kids are sleeping peacefully while I'm scrambling to have everything ready for the first day of school tomorrow. Oh, congratulations. You know what, Callahan, I don't know if you heard, but where'd it go? It was an instant hit last night. Never had anything happen so quick. So I'm afraid now to celebrate.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Because but I refuse.
Negotiate with terrorists.
I don't have anything that's good to celebrate. I do this.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
But I'll work on it. Happy first day of school. Just think, once the school bus is gone, or if you drop off the kids and you can't see the school anymore, you at least have 5 hours you can sleep.
Claims that she makes about her past, but we can't. Not when the documented public record shows that faking victimhood is her primary defense mechanism. Which brings us to the Mormon Stories podcast. So back in July,
I know about this one.
Before the 9/11 live stream and the impending exposure, Lauren sat down for a massive 7-hour interview with John Dalen and Mindy Caldwell. At this point, some of the drama was brewing in the background, but nothing had really surfaced yet, and Lauren didn't seem to be feeling too fearful of exposure at the moment. But when you watch this interview through the rearview mirror, knowing now exactly how she twists reality to make herself the martyr, the red flags are blinding. Obviously, there is no way that we can break down a full 7-hour interview, especially since it covers her entire life story, from her childhood up to present day. But buried in that massive timeline, there's a specific sequence that really jumped out to me. So it's a single...
Oh, trouble's here. Christina, I'm sorry that you missed the greatest line of all time. And it was, I believe her name's Lori. And she said, you're not you, but the... I don't know what it was to get in the car. Skim milk's all I got. When she said, you are nothing but a middle school mean girl in an over Botoxed grown woman's body. Oh my gosh. But I've rewound it like 20 times, I feel like. And we saw some footage with you, Christina. And again, I learned tonight it's Justice for Christina. But I think that there's a number 4 first. But I had that wrong. I've been saying Free Christina. It's Justice 4. Right? Okay, we'll figure it out.
Single 7-day period that she describes, but then she moves past without really giving it much reflection. But we are going to hone in on that week because the picture that it paints provides a ton of insight into how Lauren's mind actually works. So this is the week when she got engaged to Brian, the man that she would eventually marry and then divorce, and then she would write an entire book to highlight his emotional abuse. So during her recap of this single week,
it's so
Lauren
great.
makes some incredible, almost unbelievable claims. And she casually lobs massive, life-ruining accusations at people that she encountered. And these are claims that, if exaggerated or false, could permanently destroy people's lives. Yet she put them on blast on a massive podcast and then wove them into her professional narrative. Before we can truly dissect the bizarre events that ultimately defined the direction of Lauren's life,
thank you,
we have to understand the foundation that Lauren lays out at the beginning parts of this interview. So Lauren
Melissa Jane, I know what you want. I'm gonna oh, I'm in trouble. Oh, y'all, if they start hitting, I'm like, do you realize like that is it is like 20 times a show for like the last 3 years. And I stream every day. It's like, I mean, it's like 1,500 shows. I'm gonna, how many is that? 3? There's not 1,500 days.
Paints a picture of a life shaped by intense anxiety, insecurity, and a desperate need for control. Lauren grew up in the Federal Heights neighborhood, which was one of the most sought after and prestigious in all of Salt Lake City. As a child, she admits to having a deeply paranoid worldview. She says that she was so obsessed with danger that she actually believed that McGruff the crime dog's safe houses were probably traps set by kidnappers. From a very young age, she had a habit of twisting symbols of safety into perceived threats. As Lauren got older, that paranoia morphed into severe insecurity. She felt like an awkward misfit, and she strongly believed that men simply didn't want her. Yet,
well, I tend to agree with that opinion. Yeah, strike that one. America. Oh, wait a second. I keep forgetting.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Please come.
And what about the harassment aspect too? I want to point out the harassment aspect because again,
I keep forgetting that. Oh, so great. So great. I saw the Fur Missile Mama in here. Oh, yeah. Did you see Rick's Clicks is here? I don't know either of those people. Do I need to? I don't know who this guy is, but I feel uncomfortable with the sight of secondhand embarrassment. You talking about me? Oh gosh. No, this is the docket decoder. This is Jolene sent me to him to find these, and then I was sent a message saying that the 2 videos we're watching tonight are great starting places for this whole craziness that is hidden true crime. You know, it's hidden over there. Insanity. Insanity's hidden over there. Cruelty, meanness, and a Botox bill that could float a barge. That didn't click.
My child just fell down.
There you go. Oh.
she deeply coveted what she called the LDS fairy tale, the perfect temple marriage, a successful husband, and a big family. And then when she was in her mid-20s and she was trying to start a career, her dream completely shattered. Her father was arrested and sent to federal prison for securities fraud, and then her mother suffered a mental breakdown in response, and their family lost almost everything, including their home. And Lauren was left scrambling with lots of debt, and at one point she says she was even sleeping on a floor mat in a friend's basement. Oddly, it was only after her father went to prison and her life collapsed that she says her dating life suddenly picked up. She admits that she was incredibly.
Wait, where does all this come from? Why was she living in a basement? You don't expect things like this to pop up. She's living in a basement. Her father goes to jail. And then her dating life picks up. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Anybody familiar with the website Backpage?
Vulnerable during this time and noted that she accepted many dates literally just to get a free meal because she couldn't even afford groceries. She says she was highly anxious and deeply insecure, and that she was still clinging desperately to the hope that the LDS fairy tale marriage was a way to regain control in a life that was falling apart. Lauren still believed in the LDS fairy tale plan, the temple marriage, the children, the whole beautiful script. But she was now 29 and single, and she was watching the clock. So she made a desperate pivot. Salt Lake City was not working for her journalism dream, and the nearest starter market was Pocatello, Idaho, which was 2.5 hours away. So Lauren maxed out a credit card and took private coaching sessions in Los Angeles. She cut an audition tape and started driving to Pocatello every single weekend for 7 months. She was unpaid, and she job shadowed for free at the NBC affiliate, but she refused to disappear until finally they hired her for $19,000 a year. Lauren moved in with her frugal, widowed grandmother, and she paid her $100 a month in rent. Lauren survived on Costco free samples.
He looks a lot better back then. Been a lot of changes.
Samples so faithfully that she says the taquito ladies knew her by name. Lauren turned 30 in Pocatello, exactly the opposite of the glamorous New York life that she had once imagined.
It was a wonderful time to learn and make mistakes and become a broadcast journalist for 2 years. There, I celebrated my 30th birthday. I thought I would be celebrating my 30th birthday, maybe single in New York City, and here I am celebrating it in Pocatello, Idaho.
Oh, she thinks she's Sex in the City. She's going to be single in New York. Just like, what's her name? Carrie? Oh, sorry. Yes, I have seen Sex in the City.
Oh, poor and broke, but working towards a career I really want. You know, I don't have family. I have no support. My mother never healed from sort of the breakdown. So she's someone we actually more so take care of. And I'm in the right place I need to be, but I am very lonely.
Is this an ad? Is this an advertisement? Was a furry convention in town? Arr. Wait, hold on. Actually, I think I have it still. Of all the stupid sound bites I have, all the stupid stuff I have.
And very vulnerable. I go to the doctors for anxiety. I have a fast heart rate.
That's not Dr. John. That's not Dr. John.
Wondering where my life is going. Like, what am I doing?
While Lauren was still living in Pocatello, she began driving the 2.5 hours home on her days off to stay in the Salt Lake City dating scene. She recounted a whole series of aggressive pursuits that all followed the exact same theme. Lauren was endlessly kind and open-hearted, yet men repeatedly disrespected her boundaries.
That's right.
And every single outcome left her as the punished innocent victim. She told a story about one guy that she dated a couple of times, and he refused to accept that it was over. And after dropping her off, he grabbed her arm, pulled her back towards his car.
That's what happens. Depending on what side of the argument you are, that's why you either pay up front, get paid up front, or you pay at the end.
While she was screaming, he chased her across the street when she broke free and then shoved her to the ground.
And so he drove up to the house where I was staying, and my car was parked out front to drop me off. And I'm saying, I don't want to see you again. And he was like, come on, like just again. And I'm like, no. And at that moment, he grabbed my arm and started pulling me. And like to the point where I was scared, and I started screaming. Like he was pulling me back to his car. And he started pulling me, and I was screaming. So this is like outside. And I ran to this circle, this grassy circle, like across the street, and he chased me, and he grabbed me, and he shoved me, and I fell hard.
After this, she said she fled to her friend's house, and he even followed her there, but he ended up apologizing. And she presented this story as proof that her desperation to be rescued made her a vulnerable target.
And I ran. I got up and I just started running, and he was like, Lauren, and I jumped in my car, actually. I drove to my friends. I was freaking out. He actually drove all the way to my friends.
Can make it bigger. Oh, those are some. Those eyebrows have no hair. Wait, she has no. What's that part of the nose between the nostrils? It doesn't exist. Oh my gosh, I've seen this one before. Oh, I've seen her before. I know her.
I ran inside like he was sort of stalking and dear friends of mine. And he called him and said, did you do this? He said, yeah. I tell her I'm sorry. And he said, go away and go home. But like, these were just some of my dating experiences was while I was like so desperate to be rescued. Like I just think that's like a good representative of, I just didn't know where my life was going. And here I was 30 years old.
There was another man from Provo who she said started aggressively love bombing her. And he would drive 3.5 hours to see her despite her repeated pleas for him not to come.
And during this time too, there was a guy from Provo that I'd gone a couple of dates with that was like wanting to come up to Pocatello, like drive 3.5 hours to see me. And I kept saying, no, don't come up. Like, please, we're good.
3.5 hours. That's a 7-hour round trip.
Like, no, like it was the same thing. It was like really aggressive.
Love bombing?
Yes. Thank you. Really aggressive love bombing.
Love bombing?
Extravagant gifts too. Like he was like, I just landed. I'm home from France. I want to bring you something. I was like, don't, like so sweet. Like to the point where you feel guilty. Like I felt guilty. Like declining him, but he was like, please. And there was this one moment, again, it was the same thing. He said, I just landed. I want to bring you a gift from France. It's 3.5 hours. And I said, please don't come. I'm really tired. He's like, well, I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm coming. And so I wrote him an email.
Okay. I've seen her before. Told you. I told you I knew her.
And I said, I will never have feelings for you. Do not come. And at that moment, he called me upset. And he said, I'm so sad. I heard you, but can I just come up for some closure now? And at that moment, my heart like felt soft for him. And I was like, yeah, you can. And that was the beginning of a tumultuous 3-year relationship.
Somehow, that single act of kindness of allowing him to come up for closure launched a 3-year on-again, off-again relationship. She says it was full of push-pull, long-distance drama, and eventually he began demanding that she move back to Salt Lake if they were ever going to work. When mass layoffs later hit her Pocatello station after 2 years, she says that she volunteered to be.
The guy who wanted to drive 3.5 hours is Duder? Oh, no way. No way. Yeah, those are some. The cheekbones. It's always about the cheekbone. And oh, it says play me on the. I thought it said pay me. I was like, well, that's appropriate, isn't it?
Let go. She said it was a kind thing to do to save somebody else's job, and it would allow her to relocate for her Provo boyfriend. But then the moment that she arrived unemployed back in Salt Lake City, having sacrificed her position out of empathy, she says he dumped her and then he moved to Arizona. And she was left alone again, wondering what she had done to deserve this.
And so there are actually mass layoffs at my station in Pocatello. It's been going on I've been there for 2 years, and they actually asked, are very kind, like, do you want to stay? And I was like, no, I don't. Like save somebody else's job. It was like a kind thing, you know? And I was like, okay, I'll move back to Salt Lake now and be with them. And the moment I moved to Salt Lake, he was like, you know what, I'm out. And he moved to Arizona. And so at that moment, once again, I've left this job for a man. I don't have a broadcasting job. I'm in Salt Lake City. He's left. Here I am, 31. I'm like, what? Like, or 32. I don't know. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I just
don't know what age she is.
Keep desperately like wanting this like fairy tale. Like, I just want something. And I had been in love with him. And so I thought, I have got to move on from him. Like, I was done with him. It had been 3 years. I was like, I am done. It's over.
So trying to piece together Lauren's life during her return to the Salt Lake City area is very complicated. So the baseline story that she's giving us in this interview is that her boyfriend asked her to move back to be closer.
Good point, Kaylin.
When she moved back, he immediately dumped her before he moved to Arizona. And these details really do.
Oh, Kaylin. Oh, why am I thinking Laura Owens vibes? Oh, God.
Matter because the boyfriend that we're talking about is Brian. And Brian's the same man that she's eventually going to get engaged to and then marry before she divorces him and then writes a book about his emotional abuse. Because he becomes such a central figure to the story, I think understanding the actual reality and dynamics of their relationship during this specific season is crucial. But when you try to dig into her public presence during this time, the waters get really muddy. So while she's claiming that they broke up and he moved away, she's also appearing during this season on various podcasts, sometimes casually mentioning that she still has a boyfriend, but at other times she's acting as a fierce advocate for the single adults groups in the Mormon church. She even wrote for multiple online publications about the struggles of singleness and demands the respect in a culture that heavily pressures people to get married, and that's a mold that she clearly doesn't feel like she fits into. Honestly, there is enough conflicting information.
I was going to say, anyone can submit a guest post to Modern Mormon Men. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. There's a website or something like that called Modern Mormon Men. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Oh, it'd be like reading penthouse letters, right? Dear Penthouse, this sort of thing's never happened to me before. Just send us your post with a title and paragraph. Just Lauren Johnson received her Bachelor of Journalism from University of Utah and served a Mormon mission in Cleveland, Ohio. That's bad. Laid off television reporter. She currently resides in Salt Lake City. She's a blogger, and you can find her at. Has anybody been to this blog spot of hers? Is that still her Twitter? Do I need to go over there and block her on that, Ruthie? Let me actually write that down. I need to. Yeah. You like how I talk to myself? Okay. Mormon. Okay, so it might not be usually more 30 years ago. I could have still been thrown to old maid category. Thank heavens, times have changed. Now it's hip to be single in a Sex in the City sort of way. I nailed it. I knew it. She wanted to be Carrie Bradshaw. She looks in the mirror and she sees that big old ugly. I don't like Sarah Jessica Parker. I think she's ugly. Y'all, I'm sorry. I think she's really ugly. I like that brunette that was in there. She was I thought she was the cute friend. Anyway, oh my gosh, this is so funny.
During this era to leave us thoroughly confused.
Modern Mormon
but there's
men.
not enough that I can
out.
find at least to definitively sort out the fact from the fiction. Truthfully, this is not an isolated incident because throughout Lauren's life, you see this pattern. The same events often are described in slightly different ways, and they don't always completely contradict each other, but they blur the lines of reality enough to make it confusing. And her return to Salt Lake City is definitely one of those seasons where the harder you look.
Okay, Bay Harbor Beauty. So I don't even know how to. So like Christina Mack, she's the one that's in the video that the police stopped at CrimeCon. This girl right here, okay, that's in our chat. She's the one that this true crime chick, Lauren, over there, Ruthie, she's the one that she went after, said that she was stalking her stuff. Lauren said that about Christina Mack. And then there's so many other players. I don't even. This was the big one though. I think, right? Is that right? We would say is Christina the big one, but no, I guess Crusher. What did I call her channel? Desirable treasures. Desirable treasures. Yes. She would probably be the big one. That is, she's related to the Vallow family, like Lori Daybell family. Sorry. Am I doing? I mean, man, if I got 10%, y'all, that's usually the most I ever get.
The less you actually see. While the timeline of her relationship with Brian remains a bit of a tangled web, we do hit a clear turning point by late 2000.
It's the craziness of it. It's she has 300 some thousand subscribers, and here's the thing: you have to realize that it's not that there is so much attention; it's that your algorithm has that much attention to it. So there are like me. I didn't know about this. I didn't know who she was or anything. I remember one time, Broken Baker says, "Anybody heard of this?" And it was talking about the hidden true crimes. I'm like, no, I don't know who that is. And he's like, she did a 9-hour video. I'm like, why did she do a 9-hour video? It was like the next day or something. He's like, because she's a victim, he says. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's a victim in true crime. Okay, like whatever. I don't pay attention to that stuff. So that's all I ever knew about it until I saw on Jolene, like Jolene had been talking about this case like 8 months ago. I think I know it's difficult research, but I call her Difficult Treasure because I thought that's what her name was at first. And then she was like, oh, I'll take Treasure. I was like, yeah, it's a positive. You're a difficult treasure. Treasures are difficult. Thank you, Felicia. Like, this is like, if you knew, I have thousands of hours on the tubes. And this is one of the most nervous times I've ever been, because I take this serious. Like, this is really shocking and shameful that this happened to y'all. Oh, Olaf, it's horrible. It's horrible. Look what happened recently with, if you look at the Karen Reed stuff, you take our whole milk cow out of it. You just look at everybody else. That's how true crime always is. They all come together for this thing because it's very popular for everybody to be on the same side. Then when it's over, you have a lot of creators that all they've done since day one is they've talked about whatever that case is. And when that case is over, they don't have any other content. So they start attacking other creators and they create drama. And that's what's happening right now. It's just trash stuff. It's trash stuff. I think she's telling the story, victimizing herself, attempting to appeal to and relate to real victims of true crime. She covered like saying, I'm a victim survivor, so I get it. And you can trust me. Kaylin is looking, to quote the great Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, look at the big brains on Kaylin. He absolutely nailed it. I think you're right. It's the it's like if you say like, oh, I've got this wrong with me, I'm sick. Everybody, it's like somebody else wants to say that they're sick too, and they have it too, and everybody, it's like they try to outdo each other. I hate that. I'm like, but that's like true crime. I won't talk about sickness and ailments and conditions and all that other stuff because everybody just tries to outdo everybody else. And I think you're right with this. It's like that victim thing. It's like, oh yes, like we're both the same thing, but I'm more of a victim than you are. You can really trust me. True crime is true. Really scary. It's crazy, isn't it? I'll tell you another one, Janice. When I started noticing, so when I started doing this, like I never said anything about going to law school and all that stuff. I just, didn't say anything about it. And I hate court. I hate following all that stuff. And what I noticed is that the true crime people, a lot of them, man. I mean, they were all criminals themselves. That's all they knew how to do was talk about cop stuff. And then you go and you start getting lawyers. They don't want to be lawyers anymore or attorneys anymore. And they were doing cases, and they tried to call themselves law tube. So they're just bad. They just don't know it. I wish I was more civic education awareness. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I did. You came in and you said there was a skeleton looking at you. We had a conversation. Courtney, I can't help it if you don't pay attention to me when I talk. I'm used to that. That's actually how my entire dating life, which was good because that way I'm happily married. I'm very glad for that. Oh my gosh, I think about that all the time, though. How do I hit play?
2012. They are broken up, and Brian is in another country, and Lauren is desperate to close that 3-year chapter for good. After 3 years of back and forth, Lauren says she just wants to wipe the slate clean and move forward. With Brian out of the picture, she throws herself into starting over. She dives into online dating, eager to find a new connection. Professionally, the pieces are finally starting to fall into place. She lands her absolute dream job at a news station right there in her hometown of Salt Lake City. But her very first week at her new job rapidly devolves into what can only be described as a week from hell. It's a staggering sequence of events that begins with an online date
God, I've been
with a
watching
local
it. I just
40
saw
under
one.
40 executive.
So I land this job. I'm landing this job with my dream station, or my dream job with a local station. And I meet this guy. We meet for lunch. And yeah, he's divorced. He has a bunch of kids. He's Mormon. He was in the bishopric. Handsome. He tells me how he was on the 40 under 40 business magazine cover. And explains that he's divorced because, you know, of an emotional affair with a high school girlfriend. I'm thinking to myself, it was probably an actual affair, but I'm not judging him. And why would you don't need to tell me on the first date.
That's funny. I was thinking he probably had an affair with a high school girl. These people are sickos.
You know, whatever, you know, you can, you know, tell me later. Happens. But I am also really desperate to just move on from this ex-boyfriend too. And so he's really rushing things and seems really interested in me. And I'm like really open to it because I'm like, I just want to meet somebody else. And so this is the same week as my first week. I tell him I'm starting this job and he's like, congratulations. He sends me a dozen roses. He comes over the next day. He's watching me on TV. He's like, you did great. It's the first week. And then it's like, I think the third day.
ATS, how you doing?
He comes over and I'm living in a dining room at this moment, by the way. It has French doors and I've put up curtains. So it's like a studio. I've put up curtains. But it's like right off the front door of a house. So like,
how do you know all this Yamaha?
It's where I sit. It's where I sleep. It's where I do everything. It's my apartment. So he comes over and he comes into the dining room and shuts the door. And he starts kissing me. And
wait, hold on. How this get started? Hold on. Is this the doctor? In her dining room? Wait a second. What? I put up curtains. What?
And then it's like, I think the third day he comes over and I'm living in a dining room at this moment, by the way. It has French doors and I've put up curtains. So it's like a studio. I've put up curtains. But it's like right off the front door of a house. So like,
whose dining room is she living in? She's in Salt Lake City. Do you live in dining rooms in Salt Lake City? Do they have a table in there? Did she sleep in on the table?
You know, it's where I sit. It's where I sleep. It's where I do everything. It's my apartment. So he comes over and he comes into the dining room and shuts the door. And he starts kissing me. And then, you know, he pushes me on my bed. And I just remember.
You have a bed in a dining room?
Like, look, I ended up dating a lot in my years. And
I'm thinking dating is a code word. I'm thinking dating means something different. I think it means sex. Sorry, that slipped out.
I've kissed a lot of men.
Never mind kissing.
But it was something I never experienced before. Like, it was very aggressive. And I was
it doesn't have a door?
Trying to push him off of me, and I couldn't.
Wait a second. Aggressive kiss? She's not talking about kissing, is she? Oh, I don't like this. I'm not comfortable
And
anymore.
I
I'm not
realized
comfortable.
what was happening. And like I knew it. And I was like, he's like, I said it in my mind, like, keeping me. And
What?
I all I could think is, what do I do? So what do I do when this happens? And it's like, you say no and you push him over and over and over again. And that's what I did. I said, no. I was shoving him. I was pushing him. I was shouting no. I think I said no well over 200, 300 times throughout the entire thing. I just kept repeating no. Like I just didn't stop saying no, and pushing him and trying. And at the end, and it was an assault, but at the end, the last thing he said is, I can't believe that you say that you are a good girl and you let me do this. And then he left. And I remember thinking it was very, I don't know what I'll say, but
talk about absolute whiplash. So we have a week that began with so much promise. Lauren had a new dream job, a clean break from her ex, and a date with a local magazine cover star. Somehow it devolved almost instantly into a devastating assault and a sickening insult.
Janice, I thought that same thing. I was not going to say that. I think it means the opposite, just a man blinked at her in her head. She spins into a narrative. This guy is interested in me, which eventually involved this guy I dated. Yeah, it's this is that's weird. I've never seen this is a touchy subject, so I really don't like talking about that. Like, but at the same time, though, I don't know, is it a touchy subject because that seed of doubt is already in our minds? But I've never witnessed on anything I've ever seen or anything I've ever heard anybody talk about, like you can't ask that question in court. If there's somebody's a victim, you can't ask them, how many men have you been with? Let's assume it's a female victim. But I mean, it could be a man victim, but just a victim, right? How many partners have you had? You can't ask that question. If you volunteer that information, then you can talk about it. She started off her paragraph there with, I've dated a lot of men. Kissed a lot of men. Remember, I was making fun. I was like, I think dating means something different. And when she started talking about kids, like, oh, she's talking about. That was weird. That was a weird outcome to the beginning. Makes me sick.
But the chaos of the week is just getting started.
You know what? This is what pisses me off about that. I am. Okay, I'm mad. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. But this is the thing. Like, the fake victimhood of stuff is so heinous because it minimalizes true victims. It makes us now get to the point, especially if you follow a lot of true crime. The very first thing you think of when somebody says blah, blah, blah happened, you think to yourself, you go to a bad place. You're like, did it happen? Is that really it? Or did it happen like this way? And you start to doubt a real victim. God, it makes me so mad. Y'all, it makes me so mad. I shouldn't. I'm sorry, y'all.
Because the next day, her job performance is really tanking. Her attacker starts obsessively calling her phone, and when she rejects him, he asks to be set up with her coworker. And if that is not bad enough, her phone is now ringing with calls from Brian, her ex who's not even in the country. She's caught between an attacker and an ex-boyfriend that she desperately wanted to get away from. For some reason, despite not wanting to talk to either one of them, she's picking up the phone for both of them. She even tells Brian that she's seeing someone new, which makes him very angry. We already know that her history with Brian pretty much defies explanation. If you remember, she originally let him come see her just to get closure. She'd sent him an email saying that she would never have feelings for him, and somehow that turned into a 3-year relationship. But if you think that's a baffling jump, just wait. Because if you think the nightmare week has hit rock bottom, you are in for a big surprise. But I'm going to let Lauren tell you how the rest of this week unfolds.
And as I went to work the next day, he started calling me and I wasn't picking up. And so he started calling me incessantly. And at the same time, this is the very next day, my ex-boyfriend starts calling me and I'm not getting his calls either. And I can't believe that he's calling me either because I don't want to talk to either of them. And so the more I don't talk to them, they're both incessantly calling me. They're both and if my ex-boyfriend knows, he would be so angry, and not because of what he just did to me, but because of the jealousy. And I don't want to talk to this guy ever again after what he just did to me. But they're both with my not answering, they're both incessantly calling. So I finally pick up his call, the guy that assaulted me. And he said, "Are you not interested in me now?" And then said something about my coworker's ass looking nice. He's like, "Well then, maybe you can hook me up with your coworker." And then I remember I went live on TV and it was the worst mess up ever in life. It was my first week and it was my worst mess up ever on live TV. It was just mortifying to me. And it's my first week on this job. And the guy called, he texted me. He's like, "That was terrible." I finally pick up my ex-boyfriend's call and just get rid of him because I can't handle the guilt either of the fact that he's calling me again, we're over and this just happened. And so he's calling me.
How long was she in Salt Lake before she got a job there? What happened? Hold on. She breaks up with a guy. She gets a job. She gets a story. We'll say a story. And then all this happens in a week.
And I'm saying, I can't, don't call me, I'm dating someone. And he's out of the country, my ex-boyfriend. So I'm like, don't call me, I'm dating someone else and it's serious. And that set him off. And he's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was like, it's over, please. It's been 3 years of this. And he's like, no, I am flying in.
Okay, I think I'm gonna also have to go back and just listen to that last sentence here real quick. Felicia, you can take the as a woman out. That shouldn't be the reason why. We should all believe other people. I mean, it has nothing. It's just we should believe other people, other humans. Wait, what's wrong with us if we can't? This is what aggravates me about this chick. Is they're dividers, and they make you they divide they divide the people around them. They have a platform. They divide the people that listen. They get into this world because they have to have controversy. You ever notice there's that one friend you'll have maybe that's there's always drama. It's like, oh, poor so and so. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're not gonna believe what happened to Brenda today. It's like, I mean, we should believe people when they say things. And I've been doing this like the 6th show I've done talking about this, and it just makes me feel sick. I feel gross. Right? Is this what it's gonna be like going forward? Oh my god!
Right.
And I'm glad. Hold on.
I
Wait a
just
second.
want.
I didn't want you. I'm so glad to see this because I don't want you to think I was picking on you or anything like that. I hate when I hate when people like this person doing that to the people around me, and you're around me, like everybody here in the chat, you guys are around me, and there's so many beautiful people I've just started to get to know, and this is such a wonderful thing. We don't have to have the world that we don't love. We can have the world that we dream about. And I'm an optimist, right? I know that, and all this other stuff. I used to not be this way, and I used to be very pessimistic. And it all started changing because when I started doing YouTube, and I started seeing beautiful people, this wonderful chat, these wonderful, like, you have experiences, you meet people, you find it's biblical. I mean, it really is. It's the stuff that you learn about, you hear about, you learn about in church, like how you should think of people. Maybe I'm set out for it or something.
These two men just like go away, and he literally calls me. He goes, "I just booked a flight. I'm coming in to propose to you." And I was like, "Don't do that." And the next morning I go to work. Still my first week. They're both still calling me, and my ex-boyfriend was like, "I'm here. I'm picking you up at 7 tonight. Be ready." The guy that had just raped me kept calling, and I had to text him and said, "I'm getting back together
thank you,
with my ex, like just leave me alone." And then he started like going crazy on my phone. That night, a limo driver picks me up at 7 a.m. And so I throw out
PM or 7 a.m.
7 p.m. I go out for this like extravagant, like I don't even like extravagant night. He's controlling everything, and he has all these things planned. He includes my family. He proposes to me that night. And then the last thing, like he's like taking me to all these places. And the last thing we do is arrive at this restaurant at like 10. And I have a ring on my finger, and our families are there. And then I have friends that are like, "What are you doing here?" And they're like, "You have a ring?" I'm like, I know, I just got engaged. Like, so I went from like, it was the wildest moment. I'm like, yeah, I'm engaged. And at that moment though,
that does feel like Laura Owens. I didn't. So she wrote a book she wrote a book about her ex-husband. Y'all, you can't do all this. You guys realize how confusing this is for me now? Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Oh, so she wrote a book. Just trash, man. Just
happened with that other guy. Like, I just then just was like, just get married. Like, I just need to get married. Like, I just need to marry this guy. And
you know who else says that?
Like made this
Chicks
situation
that are
better.
pregnant,
like,
don't know who the father is
better
are.
and safer. And I don't want to deal with like, So it was like all of this like accumulated to like, I think when I look back, like why I said yes. And like, I just think there was a lot going on. And my dad was behind bars at the time.
Looking back, Lauren justifies her chaotic timeline by pointing to trauma, the need to feel safe, the rush to get married, the stress of her father being in prison. But when you examine the actual evidence, her narrative fractures. There are no police reports. Lauren remained in contact with the attacker the very next day, and the entire sequence of events possesses a cinematic convenience that perfectly positions
please make
her
sure you're
to
subscribed.
enter the next
I'm trying
chapter
to
as
get
the
to
ultimate
10,000.
victim. This isn't an isolated incident. This is a crystal clear template. Lauren frames every chapter of her life as proof that her immense kindness is repeatedly punished. She claims that she volunteered for layoffs out of pure empathy for her coworkers. She claims that she only let Brian visit for closure out of guilt, yet somehow she fell into a 3-year relationship. She claims she stayed in abusive situations simply to be a good Mormon woman who was trying to fix what was broken. And when you put these stories...
Let me tell you what, I've known a lot of Mormons, and being in a lot of relationships doesn't seem like things like I've witnessed. Like that's... Did she really say, I dated a lot of guys just so I could fix them? Is that what she just said? Because that doesn't sound... Family values sounds more appropriate.
Side by side, the mechanism is obvious. Whenever Lauren's private behavior risks exposure, a failed marriage, leaked texts, professional fallout, her response is identical. Externalize the blame, weaponize platforms for narrative control, leverage the suffering of loved ones as moral armor, and then issue vague after-the-fact apologies, all while insisting I'm a good person. Lauren used her 2019 book and her Mormon Stories interview to build a survivor advocate brand for herself. The recent 2025 live stream was just that exact same mechanism, but deployed on a massive stage. Today, the collateral damage is permanent. Collaborators are fleeing, and her family is caught in the crossfire, and the grieving families whose trust was exploited are left watching their promised empathy turn into a monetization strategy. Lauren will continue to put out videos. She will still get lots of views. And as long as she refuses to take genuine accountability, the cycle is certain to repeat. She will always be the victim. She will never be responsible. But her history proves that being in her orbit is a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to be in her orbit. But I really don't like if you see a cow thumbnail that looks like her, that's the topic. Holy cow. She's not Mormon, she's a moron. T, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, T, everything's gonna get wiggle, 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 yeah. 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 It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be so bad. It's such a slow process. Oh wow. Yeah, I gotta take mine back to Apple. Yes, Lions for Life. Yes, it is. It is. But that was why do I always misdo his name? Where's the link? Docket decoder. I always want to say decipher. Docket Decoder, whose link is in the pinned in the chat. Y'all go please go follow. Make sure you're signed up. And Docket Decoder is who Jolene told me to go listen to. So holy cow. Eyebrows. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. We're not gonna be, there's no more videos. Yay, I take these out. Man. I sleep with these things then because I do the noise counseling. Oh, it's so nice. So nice. Anyway, so y'all hit me up. Let me know what's next. I don't know. This stuff amazes me. Now, here's what I would like to do. I would like to do 2 a day. Like, so there's other stuff I want to do. You know what? At nighttime, you know what I like to do? I guess to have a good time. You know, I want to have some fun. I want us to we need to end the day good. You know, it's like at the Tonight Show, right? Like Jimmy Fallon. You know, going back to, it was my friend Steve Gosney said that I've had 2 people say this to me. It was Steve Gosney said that I reminded him of Johnny Carson. I'm like, okay, I think that guy's dead. So I watched a lot of Johnny Carson clips, and it's such a great show. The Tonight Show has been a American thing for I almost said 100 years, but it's like 50 years or something. And I love it. It's like, you know, that's what you go to bed to, right? That's what there's no more drama. There's no more news. There's no more all the negative, bad stuff, right? And it's a good thing. So I don't know. That's why I like just have fun, wiggle it out, right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, please hit the like. Make sure you're sub. That one day we had him talking about wood floors about killed me. You know what's funny? Let me get some wood floors. So hey, somebody just I just got a comment. Hey, Kayla, you'll love this. You know that video I put up with the action figure and that ended up being the glare, right? So someone just comment, I can't with this AI slop. And I'm like, wow, what a negative Nancy. I don't like AI either. Like I don't like the talk over, you know, all that stuff. But I've got I have a little action figure that's shooting me. Pow, 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 pow. I mean, that's cool, man. That's cool. It's what I wanted when I was a kid. Who didn't see Barbie and like think like, you know, Barbie, like the dream house and all that stuff. Barbie's gonna invite you over. You're gonna go swimming in her pool, right? I like the Punisher. He's like Batman, but with firearms. That's what he's like, poor Batman. He's Batman, but poor. I can relate to the poor part, okay? Yes, there are quite a few Aussies around here. I love them. The Aussies are, it's weird. I'll look at my demographics. I'll have like, I don't know, what's a weird country? New Zealand. New Zealand's a weird, no, I'm kidding. I have quite a few New Zealanders too. Be like Antarctica, okay? I don't know. Is there anybody who lives in Antarctica? So it'll be like I have like 1% of all viewers live in Antarctica. And then it'll be like Australia. And it'll be like 0.01% of the people that watch are in Australia. I go to the chat and it's like 20% of the people in the chat are Australian. Because Australia is not a real country, right? We can say that it's in the biodome in Ohio. That's a very common truth. Melissa Jane, I mean, like, look at her. Look, she's an Australian, but she's obviously AI. I mean, look, normal people don't look that good. You have to be AI to be like that. Don't you, babe? Oh, jeez. They do represent. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. Genuine, how are you doing? What's happening? What is the latest, Genuine? I love I love seeing you in chats. You're a good person. You're good souls. We have good souls around here. What Robert Stack in Forensic Files? Wasn't Robert Stack isn't that America's Most Wanted or something? This figure is really good at standing up on its own. I swear I can't not see glare now. I can't hold that. Sorry, glare, you're good. You gotta go to bed. We're gonna Batman's here. I'm Batman. What I like to do. Comic books. I'm delighted. Somebody's telling me something. I did something wrong. Let's see. Did I get something wrong over here? Get something wrong over there. Oh, it's over here. Yeah, it's in the description. Wait. Are you talking about the other guy? Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. No, dude. Oh, that'd be so weird because it just would be. Where's my girl at? Where is my girl at? Y'all, I just saw where'd she go? Hey Danielle, how you doing? How are you doing, Danielle? Y'all, I love her. I absolutely love her. There's a glow. She has a absolute glow about her. And I can't explain it. And I feel bad for people that can't see it. I believe in angels. Oh no, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. I mean, that's nice. You're in North Carolina, girl? No way. North Carolina is right there. Have you heard of the Smoky Mountains? Actually, so yes, there's other North Carolinians here. Yeah, I'm in East Tennessee. So you have Baker on the Titanic. Oh, that is funny. No. Oh, there's Lisa Found. What's funny is I forgot from the time I read. I just poked myself with my straw. I'm so bad. It's so bad. Everything's bad. That is so hilarious because, like, hey, you see him. So this is okay, guys. You're Kayla and I. We're gonna have a conversation. You guys are all welcome to listen to it, but this is so glare, right? You see him on the tubes. And I'm thinking like Ray Liotta type from like Goodfellas. I'm like, you don't want to mess with this guy. Like he looks like I don't know what's going on here. Like, but it's like he looks Ray Liotta-ish, right? Like greatest line in a movie. Ray Liotta says, "All my life, I've always wanted to be a gangster." That's what you see. Yeah, I'm so, oh, dude, this guy, he's gangster. And then we met, and he's just very chill, like so polite, so very chilled out, which is it's a quality that is refreshing to be around. And then the few times we ran into each other on stream stuff, I'm like, dude, he's got the coolest shirts and stuff. I never noticed that. I never knew that about him. And anyway, now I'm finding out about his pajamas. Why do I know his pajamas? Why do I think that the Punisher looks like him? Why did he come on my screen while I was copying, photographing that? I got. Hello, yes, it's for bed. Okay. My banana called. I heard it. I heard it as soon as I said it. I don't know my mouth. Right over my lips. Moving stuff around, and now I can't find how to plug in. Oh, it's time to get. You really need it. Okay, so I'm not allowed to have. I'm not allowed to have pyrotechnics. This is what I want. Okay. I used to be in a band a long time ago. I used to have hair like halfway down my back. Stuff. Anyway, I really think this would be really cool for like doing this stuff. Wife said no. I'm like, Dream Killer, what is going on here? And she said, there's no sparkles, fireworks stuff, all that everything. But then I asked about confetti cannon. Well, that was immediately a weird conversation. And then anyway, I have a flying flipping inflatable sock guy. Now, thank you, side eyes. But what I need though, I think a bubble machine would be pretty cool. I really, you know what? I need lasers. I need lasers. Lasers I can do, and they don't hurt anybody. We'll be saving us out the top of the closet. Don't worry. What? Wacky wavy arm guy. I love it. I love it. Oh, yes, I do. I do. Yeah, see, that's the thing. No flamethrowers. I have a thing for flames. I do. Could you imagine, like, you know, like it's getting hot in here, you know? And then it's like, all right, guys, listen, I love y'all. It's holy cow, I didn't realize what time it was. This is a great chat. You guys, you keep me up. I've got to figure out how I don't. I like the human aspect of stories. I like to get to know people. Like people are more than just what they're known for. They're just like for me, like instance, like how long have I been doing this stuff? And you guys, I'm like, oh my gosh, AI! Like I'm having so much fun with this stuff, making my action figures fight each other. I have a lot of these. Like this is the void I had when I was working in a law firm. It was filled with childhood memories. Anyway, that just got dark. We're gonna change the lights. There we go. So anyway, this stuff is it doesn't tickle my brain, right? Because it's just sad. I like at the end of the day, I'm meeting those very wonderful, beautiful brains, right? Like I'm meeting like all these people that have they're exciting, they're good people, and then I hear what's her name? The LOL cow. It's sad. So I love you guys. Have a great night. And like I said, if you see it, because I don't know what to do. I want to keep her image and her name as far away as I can. Because I don't want to be on her radar. If she is going to strike somebody for doing their own content, that's crazy. And there's everything here is public, is for entertainment and educational value. Some people just don't like mirrors. Some people, they go walking into, they look in the bathroom and the mirror looks like a fun house because it's a distorted image of themselves. But the mirror is normal. They're just distorted people that we're learning about. Love y'all. Sleep good. Have beautiful dreams. Stay safe. Come back to me, okay?
Hear ye, listeners. Court is in session. Grab your snacks. This one local's obsession. Some big girl lit the drama burner. Now that locale wants a broken boner. She said he's boring, but she stayed in chat, spinning out like a method back. Denmark calling from across the sea. How'd this drama get attached to me? Sunglasses on, everybody looks shady. One cop shows up and they all go crazy. Was it swatting? Was it not? Girl is screaming, the water's too hot. Pot roast cold, husband mad. Everybody acting like they've been had. Receipts got waived, but the proof got thinner. Now the courtroom's missing dinner. Locale wants a broken boner, crying online like she needs a donor. Denmark, thirst trap, Tennessee shades. Whole damn chat, whipping out blades. Locale wants a broken boner, ran that mouth, now she's a loner. Expert in shades, Valhalla stay calm. Baker got blamed for the drama bomb. Bunnies hopping with the diamond signs, watching every chat and drinking boxed wines. Don't say his name, don't play his clip. Too late, girl, you started this shit. Called him